Runaway robot.
Yeah. Well, you're
know.
a
But
hunter
it's
now.
going well.
Harry.
Good.
It's going
Good,
well.
man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Are you playing anything else right now, or is it just pretty much?
Oh golly gosh. Jack and Daxter 2, Donkey Kong 64. I feel like there was something else.
Wait, you picked up Donkey Kong 64? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wait,
I have no style and I have no grace.
wait, dude, what a great game.
Yeah, I've streamed it twice.
Completing it is a
It's like
bitch
one of
and
my
a half,
favorite.
though.
No, it's not. You are all
Some of
terrible
those-
at that game.
Yeah.
No, like
You're
there's
all
like
terrible at
3
that game.
bonus stages that aren't good because they're just terrible. Like try to lure the beaver into the hole, and they don't go in.
It's true.
Hey,
It's
squeeze
true.
me?
Yep. Getting the beaver in the hole is a very difficult concept in Donkey Kong.
It's
I know what I said.
Wait,
I'm
what?
so immature.
it's a thing. It's one of the bonus stages. You have to
Yeah,
like
you play as a
herd
claptrap and
beavers,
you have to lure beavers in the hole.
and then
Um,
like they'll be like hovering around it and circle it, but don't fall in. It's,
Two
You
beavers are
you just gotta
better
get
than
them like
one.
right in the hole.
Mhm. Like,
so,
like right in the hole like that. Yeah, it's wild.
so, okay, so hey, Tom, how are you, bud?
Not even.
Family-friendly stream.
Yeah,
Kappa.
I was like, which way do I want to take this? Do I clean it
how
up
do we-
or do I keep going?
Yeah, how do we do this?
Oh man, I'm all good. I'm all good, man. It's been a quiet week for me. I had a few days off from streaming. I was
Oh, that's
feeling-
good.
I was feeling really low energy,
Yeah.
so
Should
I
feel
needed
that.
some days. I had some quiet streams, and yeah, I struggle. I struggle when the chat dies. To be honest, I was like, I'm gonna take a couple of days off and just play some games for me.
It's
was
it's
good.
interesting right now, and I think I mentioned this to Prof before. And you know, sorry, chat. We're gonna get into a little bit of like the business side of streaming things right here while we're warming up, and I don't think that's much of an issue, but it's because it's interesting.
Mhm. To us,
Um,
at least.
Yeah, well, so it's like it's always that weird thing at like, because I started streaming like a year ago, like this month or whatever, and I didn't realize then because I didn't have the summer. Summer is such a high for
Yep.
for Twitch streamers, man.
Yeah.
I like the crash afterwards is actually insane.
Yeah,
But it's so funny. So I was like polling my chat the other week, and like the average age of my chat at that time was like over the age of 35. I was like, that it was such an interesting thing that was like, oh, I guess that makes sense because like they're not in school, right? Like that's not a thing.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really interesting. But it is tough, especially like now that like it's hard to have seen those numbers in the summer and then
Sure.
like have to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
back
yeah.
down to reality for a bit.
the other thing that I struggled with this week was having found a game that I wanted to stream non-stop, but being unable to play it for a few days. So
Yeah.
I jumped into Forza Horizon 4 this week,
Oh, did you?
Mm.
which
Okay.
is absolutely astonishingly good.
Really?
It's gorgeous and it's fun to play and it's just
Oh,
everything
wow.
I love about a driving game. And the problem I have is my controller that I have for my PC is a really trashy third-party thing, and it basically died on me this week. So like midstream,
Oh no.
midstream, the left analog stick was sticking, and like I was full locking on left-hand turns.
Oh
And after
no.
an hour of trying to like drive and correct it while I was going, like, nah, I'll order a new one. I won't get it till Monday, and I can't play this game until then. So like tomorrow, I'm gonna play Forza for like 24 hours straight.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone
dude.
in my Discord has downloaded the game from the Xbox Game Pass because they all like
Yeah.
the look of it. So they're all putting in my Discord like, "Oh, I got this car and I got this car." I'm like, "Fuck you!"
It's like, and I can't play anything.
I hate you guys so much right now.
Oh my god.
Funny.
That's funny. Dude, well, hey man, at least you found a game that you like. I've never been one for like racing games in general. I think the only racing game I've ever really enjoyed was like Mario Kart. So I don't know if that like
So,
really explains to you who I am as a
like-
person.
I like the racing aspect, but you know, it's even just way more fun just to drive around an open world.
Sure,
which is,
yeah.
Which is also an accurately representation of Britain. So it's
Okay,
like
yeah, that's interesting.
beautiful British
sure.
countryside, gorgeous sunsets, nice looking cars. You can just drive around for hours, man, not do anything.
Yeah.
Spend your whole evening in photo mode,
Oh,
just taking
jeez.
pictures.
This is true.
Well, that's an
Wow.
open world game done right. Like it's
Yeah.
compelling environments and everything. Like I think I get a lot of people in my chat lately from Breath of the Wild that like play it a lot, and they're like, and there was a kid today that was like, yeah, I have like 600 plus hours in it.
Whoa.
I'm just like, what the hell? But he's like, yeah, I go around and I hunt Lionels, and I was like, yeah, I guess that is kind of like fun. Like you go out and
You could do,
like,
yeah, you
hunt
could just
stuff,
do
and you
that.
just like
Yeah.
move
You
around.
just do stuff. And
You
Yeah.
can just do that, you know? That's the thing.
It's fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. I've never, like, that's the thing. People tell me, like, oh, I have hundreds, if not thousands of hours in just, like, Skyrim.
Mhm.
And, like, and I've never played the game. So, like, to me, that just sounds absolutely insane. Like, that's a lot
you
of time.
think so, but then you get people like me that have played it through like 20 times, like start a new character and I'm gonna play it this way this time. And so when you
Sure.
combine all of those hours,
Yeah.
yeah, you do. But then there are people like my friend Andrew who literally has like a level like 1,000 person that he just like pops in and he just like fucks around.
It lets
maybe
you level
get
up that far, though?
Yeah, if you know how to do it, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You can
That's
like basically
insane.
prestige your skills. Like once they max out at 100, you can
Yeah.
legendary them, and it brings them back
Huh.
down to 15. It takes the perk points out of them, and you can apply the perk points other places. So because you're taking those levels down, you can then start earning experience again, leveling
Mm.
up. So I mean, he's insane, but I'm just saying. That's the way. But yeah, with that game, you have like mods and everything. Like there are new quest mods. that you can
Sure.
find.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's like, dude, I don't know.
But that's
maybe I
insane.
just
Yeah,
get
I don't know
bored
that I've
too
ever
quickly.
stuck with one game that much.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. But cool, man.
Well, I hit
All right.
1,400 hours on Paladins this week, so
God,
1,400?
I didn't know the game
quit
had been
that
out
so
for
long ago.
1,400 hours.
I'm doing about 50 hours a week at the minute in that game.
Holy shit!
I mean, yeah, when you
God,
stream it as
insane.
often as you do, like,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
that's
so.
crazy.
and
That
for
is
how
so
long you do
much.
too. Some days are longer than others when you're streaming Paladins.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
I don't even want to know.
All
Don't
right,
even want to
well,
know.
Cool. Hey, Rel.
Yeah.
I know you streamed yesterday. What were you playing?
Yesterday I was playing with the Chaos Core. We were just doing some Halloween stuff. Let's see. What did we play first? We were just playing some golf with friends at first, and then Scribble.io with the viewers. That was fun. We got a couple of assholes in the group though. One of them, like whatever their word was, all they wrote was "ha ha, kick me." So
Okay.
the downside
did
of
you
playing with the
kick 'em?
viewers, yeah, we kicked them.
Oh, okay.
Downside of playing with the
Kick
viewers,
us out of the
sometimes,
game.
sometimes you get some a-holes in there.
Yeah.
Offline,
Happens.
I've been playing, or I recently got and am playing The World Ends With You on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, solid choice.
Yeah. It is also going to be my next review.
Oh.
And it is, let me put it this way, it's not a slam dunk. You'll have to tune in to see why.
Oh shit!
Mm.
Top tier streamer right there.
'Cause I know that's
Leaving it on the knife edge.
Yeah.
Otherwise, let's see. Still been playing Monster Hunter. I've been playing Hollow Knight.
Yeah, I
still
saw you were playing
continuing
that
my
with
LP.
my mods the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, Duzin and Q, we were playing together and hunting some stuff. Been playing
Nice.
Hollow Knight, continuing my LP. Finally figured out where I needed to go.
That's good.
'Cause, like,
That's
everyone
good.
says
Yeah, that game
it's-
doesn't have a map, does it?
It does. You have to buy the map,
Buy 'em, I think.
And then you have to
Oh, oh,
discover it. Like you have to
Well,
go and travel, and it fills
Yeah,
out.
you have to
So
you have to
whack.
find the dude who makes the maps, buy the map from him for each area, and then every time you sit at a bench, which is that game's equivalent of the bonfire, then you fill in the map with all the areas that you've explored. The thing is,
That's
it's everyone says it's like this big open game,
Mhm.
but I got to a point where there was really only one way I could have gone. I just plain
Yeah.
did not have the abilities that could have taken me to other areas. And I don't know, maybe it
Sure.
opens up more later, but so far it's felt pretty linear. It's just been a matter of, okay, does this path lead me to progress? Nope, can't go there. Does this path lead me to progress? Nope, need another ability. And so on.
Mm.
I found that out too when I was playing it casually every once in a while, because I picked it up a while ago, and I was like, oh, it's like this Metroidvania game, and it is, in to a sense, like where you'll be someplace and you can go someplace else from that spot, but you have to come back later to do it, you know. And that's how it's kind of open in that aspect, where once you have everything and probably unlock everything, you can go wherever. It just you gotta go through like a linear progression before that happens.
Pretty linear, and they absolutely do not say a word about where you should go. There's no objective markers. There's nothing telling you, hey, you need to do this now. It's like, nope. Keep exploring. See if you can find a boss that'll give you a new ability.
Good luck.
Yep. But it's fun as hell. I love it.
Cool. All right, good, man. I like that. Prof, what have you been playing most recently? I know you've been kind of playing around with different games.
Yeah, I'm just kind of seeing what really kind of sticks with me right now. I'm in this like weird spot where I don't know what I want to play, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks with me personally, and then on top of that, seeing how people react to it. So I've been dabbling in a little bit of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I've been playing Zelda Twilight Princess. Both of those have been fun. Viewership hasn't been the greatest on them, but whatever. I'm also just not having the most fun with them at the moment. And it's probably because I played them both already to completion.
Sure.
So it's like, oh, just retreading the route.
Just do it again.
Yeah. But last night, after trying to find motivation all day, I turned on my stream and I was like, you know what? I'm going to play Dragon Quest Builders. It's a game I hadn't finished, and I started and I really, really like because I can just kind of do whatever. It's like a Minecraft clone of sorts, but like it has plot and it's got really nice stuff I can build and whatnot. And I kind of just started building away in town. Q was actually in the chat for a little while. Like he was lurking and then he like jumped in, and it was because I started building a dungeon underground of like some for lols or whatever.
Sure.
Just sort of like, hey, I'm gonna mess around a little bit.
Gonna build a dungeon.
Yeah, I'm gonna build like a prison for people to just go if I feel like it, just cause. And
so wait, is the game like open to anyone in multiplayers, or like a server-based thing, kind of like Minecraft?
See, I don't know if it's like it has online
or is it just
multiplayer
local
like
only?
that. I think it's just single player. To just at least the story mode is single player, but there is like a free mode, and I don't know it like a free build mode, and I don't know if that has online multiplayer or anything or any multiplayer. So I haven't tested that out. I actually kind of want to wait to go into there until I have everything, and then I can start building whatever I feel like.
Okay.
But I know that you can like download people's like architecture, like different buildings and stuff like that, and be like, okay, I want like this in my whatever, and you can just like plop it in there with like a certain stone or whatever. Like you need a specific item in order to do it. I don't really know the full like details about it because it's still new to me, but
sure,
I'm just having fun with it. Like just kind of chilling out. I might stream it after we get done here today.
Cool, man. All right, cool. Well, unless without I think further ado, we've gotten to talk a little bit, and there's a monster waiting for everyone to show up. Let's talk about goals real quick. We do
Not
have
die.
That's I feel like that's always a goal, right?
Quick party goal replacement: defeat Sandworm.
Sure.
I'm still calling them Diablos. I'm just saying.
So right now, your group goals are find and rescue Lady Tasir. Great. Secure a supply of water sufficient to reach Adis alive. Maybe working on that. Foster a lasting truth. The Zog was on the back burner now, I think. And then cure Ignis with the cure Ignis of the effects of Kars's curse was the last one. I think that's actually active. I need to put a
Fate's
star
a slow
right
ass
here.
mofo.
I guess
all
so.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
Sure.
Or he works in mysterious ways.
Fate works in dickish ways.
Sure. So is that good for your current group goals?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Individual goals. Ignis, find your dad.
Still working on it.
Return to Earl Reese War Camp with Tasir alive.
Yep.
Working on it.
Yep.
Reach Adis with the party alive. Also still working on that, I suppose.
Doing good on that one.
Yeah, so no changes that you want to do here?
Not yet.
Okay. Miara,
That's
learn
me.
more about Hathol.
Yeah.
I think that's still there. Then you have familiarize yourself with desert terrain and train with Balmiar to get better with the armor. So learning more about Hathol. I'm trying to remember correctly for last week. if you guys did we award experience at the end of the stream last time for those?
I want to say we did.
Because I think we did, because we ended up having some that you might wanted to have changed. And then familiarize yourself with desert terrain. It's kind of like an ongoing thing that's not accomplished yet. And then training with Balmiar has not been able to happen because everyone's exhausted. So that's just kind of sitting there. Do you want to change anything? Do anything?
I feel like I can always learn more about Hathol.
Sure.
So even if I feel, and I'm still trying to figure out if I even trust him. Which it's getting better. But I think for now, this is kind of what we've got on our plate here.
Okay. Darien, currently, you left this one here last time because you couldn't necessarily think of something off the top of your head. Help Miara find out what happened to her brother Zaor. Like we talked about last time, it's a little far away from where you guys are currently going, so you're more than welcome to change that. Keep Ignas from dying in the desert. Protect him to ensure his survival. We did award this because you tossed him. I remember that.
Yeah.
We did award experience because you tossed a gnome.
Yeah.
So that's there right now. And then find a way to communicate with Darren Silvernail. Sorry.
Yeah.
So any of those you want to change, or they sound good?
Yeah, so I have a question. Because this is weird. So I was looking at the other day, like the proficiencies and everything. And like for something like survival, I'm proficient in survival, right?
Sure.
Darien's never been in a desert before. He's still proficient.
He's proficient in the act of survival, yes, but it does not necessarily mean he's used to a desert. Right. That proficiency still applies when I ask you about survival checks, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're like I would change the difficulty class for surviving based on your knowledge of that as a character, you know what I mean? Darien's going to have more ability to survive in the mountains or in a forest or something like that because he's lived there. He's done those things. So I'd be like, if you're like, oh, I want to survive here, I'd be like, okay, that's like a DC 13. Whereas like in the desert, it's like, okay, that might be like a DC 17. Like that's super difficult for you.
Okay.
But you still get that +3 to that roll from that proficiency.
So that kind of works for what I had in mind, without sounding too metagamey. Can my goal be get better at surviving in the desert and like on a more metagamey and lower that DC?
So yeah, that's essentially
like, does that make sense? Like kind of expand. I mean, it's sort of like what Miara is doing.
Yeah,
it's exactly.
Like
yeah, Miara has an end goal of like her class ends up being like favored terrain, which is like that's a step above and beyond. But for you to like get used to being in the that's totally a player growth thing.
Him not understanding
character quote
cactuses and him not understanding quicksand and everything. It's like, okay, can my goal be to like learn to adapt and like learn more about it and everything?
Sure.
You know, maybe once we get to Adis, like I talk to people and I understand things or whatever.
Yeah, and getting to know people that live out here and stuff like that is it's totally something that you can do. And there's definitely roles for that. Be like, okay, I'm learning about how to survive here. I want to make survival rolls and like learn about stuff. Yeah, obviously, we can totally do that. So, which one do you want to change for that?
Miara's thing.
Okay, so you basically want to familiarize yourself with the desert terrain very similarly in that regard.
For
sure. Cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll put a little asterisk on Zaor here, and then we'll get yourself familiarized or attempt to with the desert terrain, and that's something that you can bring up like as we're doing. So be like, hey, I want to like check out, or I want to like look around me and investigate the area. Be like, okay, so now I understand what this is.
Yeah,
you know, that kind of stuff.
I had that thought like midweek. I was like, oh, that would have been a good one. Like instead of just panically throwing gnome, maybe I examine the quicksand.
Yeah. I mean, that was a situation where
maybe I look first and throw gnomes later. You know, I don't know.
Cool. So, do you want to keep the other ones here, or
the other ones are fine. I mean, I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
The other one for now.
Hathol, you have safely escort the party to Adis. Currently working on that. If and when it happens, orchestrate peaceful introduction to the Hobgoblin tribes, right?
Yep.
That could be a thing. And then you want to continue ingratiating yourself with the group. I think you've got like 2 of the 3 here, or maybe one of the 3 that you've already gotten kind of used to having you around, which is good. But I think they were all saying like in the next combat was kind of like when you'd solidify yourself, which is right now. So
I think today's gonna settle this one. I think so. I'm gonna leave all 3.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. All right, cool. So this is where we kind of like we get our title screen and we like pan down into the game, and immediately we have to address the fact that, oh, hey, we're in combat right now, right? So
Yep. Let's do
everything changes. The you get the music change, and we see everyone
Where's my character?
back in front of this battle here.
All right. I'm
And
clicked. I'm ready.
right. Clicked and ready. So before we even get into the actual fight here, the beast already had surprise on you guys, and it is making an attack on Darien here, right? So it leaps out of the ground where it had been burrowed, and then it uses its action to land on a space that contains 1 or more creatures. Each of those creatures must succeed on a DC 16 Strength or Dex save. So here, I'm just gonna go ahead and post this.
Oh no!
Can't be surprised.
You can't be surprised, so he doesn't get advantage.
Yeah.
But he does get to act prior to you guys rolling your initiative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how we're handling that.
bullets,
I just meant in terms of his attack.
Yeah. So the boulette, if it jumps at least 15 feet as part of its movement, it can then use the action to land on its feet, where 1 or more creatures are. So it's going to be both Darien and Balmiar. Each of those creatures must succeed on a 16 Strength or Dex save. I think depending on your exhaustion levels, right?
Is that level 3?
Yeah. So I'm gonna take a look at the exhaustion levels real quick. Level 3 exhaustion is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
Yeah.
So
Everything.
It's like everything.
yeah. So at this time, Balmiar is going to be disadvantage on saving throws.
Yep.
Darien, you are not disadvantaged on the saving throw. You would be if it was a general ability check. Okay.
So I have a question before they do that.
Sure.
We are exhausted because of lack of water. If we drink water, are we no longer exhausted, or do we have to wait until a short rest?
We have to rest.
Exhaustion can only be cleared on long rests.
Long rest. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Long rest with
We have to
sufficient
have a
food and sufficient water.
Okay.
So yeah, and it only clears
wishful
once.
thinking, a quick sip of water.
Yeah, so it only clears at one stage at a time as well.
Hey.
So like, if it's going to take Balmiar 3 days of sufficient food and water to clear all of his exhaustion.
My
What?
poor
Yeah.
baby.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm used to Monster Hunter where you can just chug an antidote and suddenly poison gone.
You're fine.
Well, so that's the thing. Magic exists for this kind of thing in this world, but currently you don't know any of it. So, and you guys don't necessarily have a cleric either, right? Like that's kind of that domain, right? Anyways, so this is what's happening. So I'm going to need strength saving throws from both Darien and Balmiar.
I'm so scared already.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
19, yeah, even with disadvantage.
For disadvantage, she crit and got a 19.
Okay, so
Really?
Darien, you will be knocked prone and take 3d6 plus 4 bludgeoning damage.
Yikes!
So I'm gonna have to do a slash roll for this. 3d6 plus 4 plus slashing damage. 3d6 plus 4 slashing damage. On a successful save, the creature takes half the damage, is not knocked prone, and is pushed 5 feet out of the boulette's space in an unoccupied space of the creature's choice. Okay.
Water.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is Balmiar gonna take a bath now?
If no unoccupied space is within range, the creature instead falls prone in the bullet space. So this is the damage count. So
Jeez.
that is a lot. Okay. So 3d6 plus 4.
Oh my god. This is not
Okay, yeah, so the boulette leaps out. It lands on top of Darien and Balmiar. Balmiar is then thrown backwards, kind of halfway into the water here. Darien, the boulette is now on top of you. You have been knocked prone. Yeah, you're underneath the beast here, okay? And you take that amount of damage, and it is
27.
27 total damage. Balmier will take half of that. So where we last left off, you basically saw this like thing underneath the sand, and it came and leapt out, lands directly on top of Balmier and Darien. Its claws slashing into Darien's armor, tearing at it. Balmier deftly moves out of the way, is not knocked prone. But does still take the damage of the impact from the leaping bullet.
Okay. So that's half of the damage, which is
27 divided by 2.
13 or 14?
13. You always round down.
Okay, 13. Yep.
Every half you round down. Okay. So yeah, it leaps out at you. And that's its attack for the surprise. Okay. So now at this time, guys, I'm gonna need you to roll for initiative once I get it on the board here. Let me clear this real quick.
And
Remove
we
all
are
turns.
screwed if Darien takes
Clear.
another attack.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your initiatives.
it's at disadvantage, right?
Yes, because you are exhausted.
Bitch.
Yeah.
So we got to roll twice.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go.
So anyone who
10.
has it, yeah. I'll enter these.
14. That's not bad. I
So
can take
Miara
that.
has the 14. As long as your token is still selected, it should update. Darien,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
Darien,
it
there you are.
updated.
Cool. So we'll go descending order here.
Yeah,
So
that
it looks like
makes sense.
Hathol's going to be last on the order here. Darien's up at the top, and I will move these for everyone to see on here. Let me get over to the viewer. All right, make sure
Let's
that's in
kick
view.
some worm butt, boys.
Okay,
Oh,
so
God.
yeah, so the bullet,
Keep the faith, Darien.
it's oddly shiny, natural armor in the desert's afternoon sun has leapt out and attacks you guys. Darien, you're the first to react. You are currently prone underneath the bullet.
Okay.
It's not to get up, right? From prone?
How doth? I know it's half movement to
Yeah, but
stand
you're
up, but I'm underneath it. So how
you're
doth?
currently in his space. So for you to get up, I'm gonna have to say it's an opposing strength check. He's gonna like try to maintain a grapple on you, right? Like you're under him.
Okay.
Damn, I
All
wish I
right.
went first.
So a strength check. So it's going to be
Wait.
athletics, opposing athletics,
So-
but you'll be at disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Yeah. Would that strength check be my action?
No, I'm going to just say like this is part of you trying to get out of the way.
Okay. Can I lay hands on myself while I'm prone?
Yes. Yeah, you can. You can attack while you're prone too. You'll be at disadvantage to try to hit him.
Well,
But you can just lay on your back and try to do stuff for sure.
cool.
But if you just want to lay on hands as your action on the ground, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fully heal myself. Well,
Okay. Yeah. So
fully exhaust my.
Good idea.
so all 15.
Yeah.
Go ahead and dump him. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Darien places his hand against his chest before he's even able to draw his weapon, and heals himself with all of his divine healing ability. So Darien, yeah, that's your action. You're more than welcome to try to
Yes,
stand
I
up
would like
here.
to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So we're basically the bullet's on top of you. Its large mouth trying to like chomp down on you, and so you're going to try to move out of the way. So go ahead and make the opposing strength check here. The bullet rolls a 20.
Oh, God.
Okay, so yeah, Darien, you heal yourself, but you're still trapped underneath, basically just trying to fight to not get hit by the claws and the jaws underneath.
Okay. Would drawing my weapon be an action?
No, I'm just like that's part of what you're doing, right? Like you
Oh.
heal yourself, you draw your weapon, you're trying to get up and out.
Okay.
The only
weapon and shield are out.
so the only thing I would say is that the shield isn't because it'd be pinned underneath
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
right? So until you get up, the shield is still not ready.
Okay.
Cool. All right. All right. So next on the list is Miera Stonewall.
That's
you see,
me.
You see your friend pinned underneath, just healed himself. The bullet seems focused on the shiny object in front of it, and is clawing and trying to chomp its way through some heavy metal armor. What would you like to do?
First shout out to Darien. Hang tight, friend. We'll get him off of you. And cast Hunter's Mark
Hanging.
onto this beastie.
Yeah. So you use your bonus action, cast Hunter's Mark. Go ahead. Yep. So you point at it. A red X appears on the shiny hide of the bullet.
And from there, I'm gonna go swiftly into do my short sword attack. So
Yeah. So you strike out at it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure. I forget if I don't have disadvantage on attack rolls now, do I?
No, disadvantage on attack rolls is exhaustion 3. I think.
Yeah. 2.
I don't. So let's do this right now. Okay. What is everyone's exhaustion level? So Miara, what is yours? 2?
I'm 2 and Balmiar is 3.
Okay. Hathol, what is your exhaustion level currently?
2.
Darien, what is your exhaustion level? 2.
Yep.
Ignis, what is your exhaustion? 1.
Still
okay.
at 1 because I have made really good con rolls.
You've been, yeah, it's been, all the other rolls have been really weird, but the con rolls have been good for you, which is nice. Okay, cool. So just so you guys remember, first level of exhaustion is disadvantage on all ability checks, okay, not saves. Second is half movement speed, okay? So Darien, if you were to be successful on that strength save, or on that strength check, right?
My movement
under
speed
the
would be
bullet,
done.
you'd just be up,
Yep.
right? Like, that'd be about all you could do, okay?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So back into the fight, Miara. Go ahead and you make your first strike here.
Combat. So short sword. Hiya, 24.
24, nice hit. Yeah, definitely. You find a chink in the natural armor of the bullet and you stab in. Go ahead and roll that damage. Yeah, 5 piercing damage.
Mark damage.
Nice. So 9 total damage.
And then
Cool.
follow up again with my extra attack for a short sword, 19.
Yeah, you slice out it again. Yeah, you basically re-enter the same chink in that armor, and you're able to force your short sword in even deeper this time with 8 piercing damage
And 5
another
hunters.
5. Wow, those are really excellent damage rolls. Good job.
good damage.
And then I got my bonus. Oh no, I've already used my
Bonus action was
so
Hunter's
I
Mark.
cannot
Yep.
use my sickle attack there.
Yeah, so you can move. I think you have
Yeah.
Sentinel, which means it doesn't get any attacks of
Yep,
opportunity
I got
on you.
mobile, so I can move wherever I want at this point.
Yeah, so you can move around him or away from him or anything
Yeah,
like that.
I think I've like circled my way around this way.
Sure. Yeah.
To get like towards this way, so I've like kind of run around like this side of him to get over this way. Try to see if I
Yeah.
can lure him to look the opposite direction so that Darien can get up.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. We're gonna mark him. So that little target is Hunter's Mark. So he is marked with Hunter's Mark until you lose concentration or a minute, whichever happens first.
Yep.
Nice attacks. Okay. Ignis, it is now your go. What would you like to do?
I am hoping that I can keep the damage train rolling. I'm gonna move Big Gnome Butt back here so that I have a little bit of. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move over here so that I have a little bit of separation between me and Hathol, just
sure.
in case it decides to leap at us.
And he thunder
Hey,
steps
I
out of the
thought you
way.
was more worried about me doing something stupid.
It can only hit one of us, is the point, and not
Sure.
both of us.
Hathol has
Alien
a
mind.
tendency to explode.
He does. Actually, wait. What's my distance from you? Maybe I need to move 1 square over. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and I'm gonna throw some acid on that sucker.
What is the radius of acid
Acid is 5 feet. It is
from point of impact?
It is a single target, basically.
Aim
Okay.
So
here.
I can throw it right there.
Yeah,
on
I'm not
the
gonna
far
say like.
side, and hit nothing, or it hit nothing but boulette.
Sure.
Sounds
yes.
like you're playing Russian roulette.
Yeah. Okay. So you throw the vial of acid.
Boulette.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Hang
25
on.
foot throw, so you're fine. Great.
Oh yeah. There's that. 11 damage unless he makes his roll. Please don't.
DC dex save 17. Yeah. So what you notice is that like he doesn't necessarily move out of the way. It's a large creature. It just like it hits his armor and just does nothing. You like kind of hear a sizzle, but it doesn't seem to affect him in any way.
Aim for the wound.
Yeah. Yeah, so
throw it
yeah,
there
you've got
next
like a
time.
really small spot in there that you've kind of found. But yeah, so Ignis, you have a bonus action as well if you'd like to use that or
I don't have anything I can do on my bonus action.
Okay.
I never have. Right up until level 6, then I can do some cool shit.
I don't pay attention to your character. This is why I ask. So is that your turn?
Yes, that is my turn.
Okay. It is now the Boulette's go. I think at this, because Miara was super successful in dealing a chunk of damage, the Boulette immediately turns on her. So, Darien, you're like underneath the like back feet of the monster now, basically like trying to keep rolling out of the way so he doesn't like stomp on you.
I'm under the grundle.
You're under the Boulette grundle. The Boulette is going to attempt to bite out at Miara here. And he rolls a 20, not a natural,
Yikes.
but it is a 20.
got me.
With the bite, the target is grappled. The escape is a DC 15 strength until the grapple ends. The target is restrained and the bullet can't bite another target, but he is able to deal damage. That is that right? Is that right?
Oh, huh?
4d12?
Yeah, okay. That shouldn't be 12, sorry. That is not correct. Yeah. Sorry, it should be the same as his other attack.
Be brave, Rob. Be brave.
There we go. Okay, so here, I'm just gonna roll the damage again.
That's
Why is it
42.
26 plus 16?
Oh, because
What the heck?
he crit the other roll.
Oh, okay, so it's 26.
Okay.
26 is the first
I
one.
can take that. I can take
Yeah, sorry, it should be 48. That's my
I
mistake.
got so scared because I only had 3 HP left at that point.
Yeah. So he bites for 26 damage, and you are currently grappled. While you're in his mouth, grappled, he makes his second attack out at you with advantage. His claw, so he rolls a 25.
Wow.
And I believe that hits.
Yeah, that hits. I'm only got 16 AC. Sorry.
Deals you 10 bludgeoning damage. This club-like claw. It kind of looks like a shovel.
26.
Just smacks the crap out of you.
Oh god damn.
And deals you 10 bludgeoning damage while you're in his maw. So basically, like, you're up in the jaw, and he just smacks you with one of his claws. These two things are technically opposite of each other, so you won't be knocked prone, right? Because you're in his mouth, but you are grappled. Okay, so for you to get out on your turn, it's going to be a DC 15 athletic check.
Yeah, I have to make a con save too, don't I? Right now for.
Yes, you must make a con save for your concentration. So the first one is half of 26, so it's a DC 13.
Yep. All right.
So go ahead and make a con check here.
I know. It's at these aren't at disadvantage, right? Or I'm trying to remember.
This is not a saving throw. This is a check. So this is well, actually, wait.
I think it's saving.
Concentration. I think it is saving throw. Yeah. No. It's a Constitution saving throw. You're right. So go ahead and make the con saving throw. DC 13.
That's at disadvantage.
No, you are not at disadvantage currently.
I'm trying to still figure it out. All right.
Yeah, the con save is not a disadvantage.
Doesn't matter.
But you do lose concentration on your hunter's mark here.
God
yeah.
damn it.
So the bite force is so much that you immediately lose concentration on the hunter's mark. The red X fading from the hide of the creature.
Oh my god.
That's one spell slot down.
Okay.
That's most of your life down. Good lord.
And
That
down.
is sort of the Boulette's turn. Hang on, how much movement does he have? He has 40 feet. Ooh. The Boulette is with Miara in his mouth, begins to tunnel. He begins to burrow under.
Help me.
So
Quick, use your magic underpants.
He's going to start doing that, and he's going to be moving away. So Darien, you're on the ground, but you're more than welcome to make an attack of opportunity. The Panther Balmir also gets an attack of opportunity here.
Sure, I shall do it.
Oh yeah, you always want to attack Diablos while he's tunneling underground. Free hits for about a second.
Yeah, so it's a disadvantage 11. Yeah, no, so it clangs off one of the heavily plated leg armors. And then Balmir can go ahead and make a swipe at him too.
Yeah.
The bite, yeah. So same thing. These rear legs seem to be well armored, and they're just unable to pierce through. So the Boulette, he can't burrow very far. He's trying to do it with just his forearms, because normally he has to use his mouth as well. So he's basically trying to he's trying to back out into the space that he came out of, right? He's trying to back into it. All right. So he's got these guys. You guys have made major attacks at him. Miara is in the front of his mouth here, and he's trying to back into the space. And I think he gets halfway into it, kind of shoving his big old body back in, but he's not really able to make a whole lot of headway there. So he's still half of his body is still out of the ground, right?
Help.
Hathol, it is now your turn.
Okay. First question relates to the events of last week.
Okay.
In between now and the quicksand incident, we did take a rest at some point, didn't we?
I believe you guys did have
Short
at least a
rest.
short rest.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine.
so Hathol would definitely have enough to. You would be at full spell.
I should
cast
be.
right now.
Yeah, I was suddenly thinking to myself, I should be at full spell slots here, but my character sheet was showing that I
Yeah.
wasn't. So
Walk up to
that's
me
fine.
and thunder step out of there.
Yeah, really.
I mean,
Actually, I think
he could.
I think that's an actual thing.
He could.
I
can
think
do
with
that.
my
Oh, you only have half movement though.
exhaustion, I don't think I can actually travel that far.
Yeah.
How far
No,
is
yeah,
your
you can.
movement?
You have 30 feet of
30.
movement. You can.
So he
do
can go
15.
15. Yeah, well, the thing is, if he thundersteps out at 15,
Yeah.
plus he'd have to walk through the water. The water's difficult terrain.
No,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
even
It's
even
alright,
the square
I have-
where Balmiar is.
Don't worry.
Balmir's like halfway in the water, so yes, it would technically be difficult terrain for him to move in and out of.
Yeah.
And you guys don't know how deep the water is, even, right? Like
Well-
this, has not been investigated yet,
What about going to this square?
right? And if he thundersteps out of that square, he would hit everything around. him.
I hit
Oh,
all of you
yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Which
okay.
Darien is prone, so that save for him would be at disadvantage. So he
Yeah, it's
might
okay.
die
We're
with
not,
that attack.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
If he could reach me, he could totally just thunder step
could totally
me out
do
of the
it.
grapple. But
So, all right. First things first. Okay. Is Hexblade's curse.
Okay, you gain the ability to place a baleful curse on someone or thing.
Yeah.
As a bonus action, you choose one creature you can see. Yep. Cursed for 1 minute. Curse ends early if the target dies. Blah, blah, blah. You gain a bonus to damage rolls against the cursed target. The bonus equals your proficiency. Great, so the bonus is +3. Any attack roll you make against the cursed target is a crit on a 19 or 20. If the cursed target dies, you regain hit points to your warlock level and charisma modifier. Cool. So let's go ahead and mark him as cursed. Is the curse itself a concentration, or is it just happens?
It just happens.
Cursed for a
Yeah.
minute. Yeah. If the target dies or you're incapacitated, right? So it's not a concentration.
Yeah.
But if you do go down, the curse ends. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Great.
Okay.
There's a little skull underneath that for curse. So whenever Miara is able to move out of that, we'll be able to see it.
All right. So I want to. This thing, we got to stop it stealing Miara right now.
Yeah.
So
help me.
let me we just measure this up again. Yeah, it's that one. That one there. Okay.
You're not going to do melee?
I mean, he's a
Why?
warlock. He can melee or not.
Why would I melee?
I thought that was what the Hexblade's curse was for. Or you get the same bonus for like that pew pew attack you do?
Gets bonus to damage rolls.
All
Does
damage
not
rolls.
specify what type of damage. Yep.
Okay.
I can do what I like.
Okay.
And what I am gonna do is attempt to stop this thing burrowing further with lightning lure.
Oh yeah, you want to? Well, okay. So post lightning lure, a creature of your choice, and it must succeed a strength saving throw or be pulled. Yeah. Okay. You could totally attempt to do this because it doesn't specify size.
No.
Oh wow, that's gotta be a mistake somewhere. So it's gonna
It's
attempt to make
magic.
the
Stop
strength
being
saving
such a
throw.
muggle.
I mean,
15. So
Oh.
it does not get pulled.
Bastard.
help.
Yeah, so you see, like, you shoot the lightning lure out, it, like, hits it, like, maybe in, like, the chest or shoulder area, shoulder joint area, and you yank with your magical ability, but it does not get pulled, and so therefore does not take the damage.
Gosh darn
It
it.
does take notice of you, though.
Mm-hmm.
The lightning is loud, and it definitely sees it.
It's like a cat with a laser pointer.
Okay.
That's my turn, basically.
Okay, great. Darien. So it is now not on top of you anymore, so you're more than welcome to use your movement to get up.
I'd love to.
Great. All right, Darien gets up.
Help.
Darien, what would you like to do?
Darien panically sees Miara in the clutches of the beast and screams, "Miara!" and swings.
Yeah, hit him.
Shit!
Oh, yeah. So you swing out with your warhammer, and it just clang right off the
He misses
natural
and
armor.
pirouettes on the
It has,
spot.
yeah, it has a very, like, as you guys have been fighting it, you're noticing that the natural armor here has a very metallic quality to it.
I want
Yeah,
to
but it does seem
dissect.
to bounce off.
Strong magnets.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm level 5. Can I attack again?
Yes,
Yes,
you can. 16. Yeah, so this one you think you've got it, but it still clangs off some of the armor.
It's the
Yeah.
Has to be
So-
17.
It's gonna be like
Also,
18
Darien,
at least, I reckon.
You aren't at disadvantage for these. We've been taking the first rolls. They have been the lower ones. But just for next time, your attacks are not at disadvantage.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Okay.
like it's at least.
So just for next time, maybe you get lucky or something like that. But like you've attacked out twice. The metal on metal sound ringing out, the vibrations in the air. Yeah. So the boulette is like you see it's like beady little eyes on its metal plated armor, like back and forth between the lightning and your hammer out at it. Miara is still in its jaws though.
What a piece of shit.
A little bit. Darien, you have a bonus action if you'd like to do anything with it. I don't know if you have anything, but
No, I have nothing that can help me.
okay. Yeah, I think you have like Vow of Enmity or something. Don't you have like a? I don't know if that takes like a
That's a new thing.
channel. You have your channel divinities.
Yeah.
Each channel divinity. Which ones do you have?
Solid question.
Speaking of class abilities, where is the link to the new 5e stuff?
5etools.com.
It's literally just 5etools.com. Yep.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. So what are your channel divinities?
Solid question.
So I feel like these should be notated somewhere.
I have.
This could be very useful to you.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at your class real quick, just because
There it is.
this is a hard fight, and
Alright.
you should probably know. We should probably be able to use these.
There they are.
What is this?
My
So as
channel
a
divinity.
paladin, he has he has like 1 or 2 a day that are like very powerful channels of divine energy.
Ooh.
And so he gets particular divine abilities that he can use. And so I'm trying to see which ones he has, as he should have a couple right now. Channel divinity. Each channel divinity option provided by your oath explains how to use it. So you are Oath of Devotion.
Why am I not finding this?
You might not have the
No?
tab clicked for the whatever it is.
No, I'm looking. I'm in the site.
Yeah, same. Hang on. We're
It's like you have to press certain buttons for certain information to show up.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, it's a little different this time.
Epic combat music for
I think
reading
it's
rules.
Up here, Divine Sense, Divine Health, ability score improvement, extra attack, Aura of Protection is at level 6. Wait, where are his chat? Help me out. Where are his divine abilities located? Hang on.
What the hell?
All right,
yeah,
book.
really? What the heck?
Channel Divinity, here we go. You're not life domain. This is clerics. Yeah, okay, so paladin is ABC. War domain. This is all clerics. Druid. C, D, E, F, G, L, M, N, O, P. So it should be right after this. Paladins. Sacred Oath. Channel Divinities. Oath of Devotion. You have Sacred Weapon. Turn Unholy. Sacred Weapon is an action. You imbue one weapon you're holding with positive energy. It's an action. For 1 minute, you add your charisma modifier to attack rolls. It emits a bright light in a 20-foot radius. Yep, and you can end this effect on your turn as part of any other action. Turn Unholy, as an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer. Censoring fiends and undead using channel divinity. Each fiend or undead that can see or hear you must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, it is turned for 1 minute or will take damage. So you have 2 things.
I can only use it once until I have to do a rest.
Well, at level 5, I think you have more than 1 a day. But yes, yeah. It's like a long rest thing. They're important, but I'm just letting you know you do have them.
Yeah.
Chat, just for so you know, it's page 86 of the book. Sacred weapon and turn on holy aura is Tashrin.
I literally can't even see it.
You get a 1d20 plus your strength plus your charisma to hit.
Yeah, I have no idea where this is.
That's fine. I'll leave it open in front of me. I don't know if you have your book.
Can you send it to me? No,
I'm looking at it in here. I can't necessarily send it to you. Sorry.
Take a photo.
It's page 86 of the book.
Of the player's handbook or of the dungeon
player's
master?
handbook.
Fuck. Where is my player's handbook?
Let me see if I can't.
Okay.
Why is this
no,
not
it's fine.
listed
I
in here?
can look it up when it's not my turn. So wait, it's an action, but then I can add it to my attack roll?
Click on devotion in the website where you see right above where it says divine sense, it says class features, and then it has ancients, conquest, crown, and devotion, and it will change the table of contents there.
Hang on, because the site is being really derpy for me right now.
It is a pretty derpy site. I don't know why they made a lot of changes that they did, but hey,
Devotion.
you know.
That's the one I've been using. I guess I'm just used to it now, though.
What the fuck? There it is. Okay.
Wow, Artificer isn't even on here.
Oh, for
'cause it's
1
not
minute.
core. There it is.
Oh, okay. So you have to prep it 1 turn and then going forward
Correct.
for the
And
next
then going forward,
10
you can-
turns.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's pretty
So
sick.
that's where that is. But now we know where it is. So if you want to add that on your off turn, we can do that. But
Yeah.
yay! Now we have it there. Okay, good. I also don't know what spells you have prepped because remember you have like all the spells now.
Yeah, I have them. It's nothing that's gonna help me.
Okay. So that is going to be your turn, Darien, unless you want to move. Oh wait, no, you stood up. Gotcha. Miera, clutched in the jaws of the beast. What would you like to do?
So I've never been grappled before. I can still like attack, right, to try or
You can attempt to attack at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because you are in this thing's mouth.
Yeah.
Or you can attempt to get out of it.
Okay.
Stab it in the throat. In the throat.
Let me see.
Go for the uvula!
I'm actually curious about this right now. Did I waste my inspiration already? I did. I already popped it. Cool.
Yeah,
I need to get out of this. Like,
it was wasted too.
When did you use your inspiration? Was that on the?
I think I used it in the the quicksand.
Makes sense. Okay.
I keep forgetting
Yeah,
I have inspiration.
It's like the one thing.
So here's the thing. Inspiration is a communal thing. You can give your inspiration to someone else just for free if you'd like to. You can be like, oh yeah, if you want to use my inspiration for this role, go for it.
Oh.
It's a group pool.
Because like then if I do my attack roll, I can do my attack roll at like normal instead of at disadvantage.
Doesn't it only work for that one attack roll though?
Yeah, it would only work for the
Yeah.
one attack roll.
Or you can attempt to get out of the mouth.
Or I could attempt to get out
Normally.
of the mouth, which would help too.
I feel like that would be the better choice.
Yeah, obviously, I think that's what I want to do is get out of the mouth. So it don't take more.
Extricate yourselves from the drawers of the beast.
Yeah. Unless I mega crit it and just one shot it.
Miara, where are you tracking your health?
Did I not write it down? Oh, I guess I didn't put it down there yet. I was tracking it on a calculator. I have 8 health left.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
There you go, viewers at home. 8 health.
Sorry, my bad. I also, oh yeah, I'm on the wrong tool. That's why I can't click myself anymore. There we go. Yeah, I need to try to get out of this thing. Does anyone want to share? How? It'd be at disadvantage to get out of this, right? Because it's
Yes.
a strength saving throw.
It is an athletics check. It'll
Athletics
be
check.
yeah, you're trying to
God.
out strength this thing from inside its mouth.
I'm proficient in athletics too. Ooh.
I don't have inspiration to share. I'm sorry.
You can have mine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Just
So this
don't
is a-
waste it.
Well, it's a contested strength check.
Yeah.
Against this
So-
thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worth it? Even with the inspiration, do you think you can beat it?
If I get lucky, I could like probably beat it. I don't know.
We can always try.
You can certainly try.
Well, you can have it. I
I'll-
put my faith in you, Miera.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm about to let you down so hard right now.
Well, I mean, I'm still ahead in the letting down tally, so
That's
don't
true,
worry.
That's true. All right, cool. Let's do this then. I'm trying
roll
to
it up?
break out. So.
All right. Roll your strength check.
Mm,
22. Okay, here we go.
all right.
Yeah, he crit fails. He crit fails. Miara, what do you do to get out? How does he critically fail this?
Ooh. Does this thing have teeth?
It's like a maw, and it's
Okay.
not like teeth. It's like this gaping opening.
It's just like
with,
baby
like, sharp-
Sarlacc or something.
Sharp metal-ish stuff.
I kind of want to say like I've like punched it so hard in the nose that it like flinches and like loses its grip, and I kind of just push myself out of there. Like I flip out a little bit.
Sure, yeah, okay. Yeah, but like, so he is just unable to keep hold of you.
Yeah, he's
And,
like
yeah,
he
so
just can't do it.
you flip out. Great.
Cool.
So I'm gonna just say, all right, you did it. You're over here now.
Cool. That's it.
Okay.
And that was my action, right? Or is that-
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Which means I still have some movement. But he has attack of opportunity if I move too far out of range. I'm gonna try to see if I can get Balmiar out of the water. So he's gonna use up his movement to get like up here. And that's probably as far as he can go.
Well, so Balmiar has half his movement, which means it's like 25.
Yeah.
So one square is 10. So he has 15 after this.
But
So
it
he
was
can move
also
one more
difficult
square.
terrain, wasn't it? So it was like
Right. So the one
Yeah,
square move
so
is
it's
10.
15.
So he has another square if he'd like to move.
okay.
Well, three
Three.
squares. Sorry, he has 15 move.
I'm just gonna kind of move him down this way. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna move him over here. Keep him away from this thing.
Yeah, because he looks like a tasty snack to this thing.
Yeah. I mean, I do too, apparently, but I also look like a tasty snack to everybody in this world. So let's just say that.
Especially
You a
Paladin.
snack. You a snack.
All right. Yeah. That's my. Well, I'm out of this thing now. I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark again.
Okay. So yeah, so he's marked again.
Yeah.
So were you unable to move further away from it than you are currently?
Well, he get an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, I
which
just
is,
for
Oh,
attack of opportunity
yeah.
and at 8 health.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
something I don't want to risk.
he could just go like whack and just kill her. So it's a little risky.
Yeah, it's a little risky.
So yeah, okay.
So that's my turn for now.
Okay.
Ignis, melt this
Ignis-
thing's face off.
Erdrick.
I
what
would
you like
love
to do?
to. I'm gonna throw acid again. Come
Okay.
on, 3d6.
You could also
Don't
set it on
do me
fire.
dirty.
Eat.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So
It throws it back at you.
yeah, so like you throw it to the half out monster here and it just smashes against its forehead and just nothing happens. The whatever this plating is just it's
Fuck my
totally
life.
antithesis to your acid at this point.
That's horrendous.
That's my turn, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go cry now.
Well, while Ignis is crying, the boulette uses its ability to leap 30 feet through the air
Oh, that's a thing.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, sorry.
on top of Ignis Erdrick.
Oh, fuck me.
It leaps directly out of the ground on top of Ignis Erdrick, using its attack again, Deadly Leap. to attempt to pin Ignis on the ground. It lands in a space here on top of Ignis. Each of those creatures must succeed on a DC 16 Strength or Dex, and then they will take some damages.
So wait, were you serious about the leap onto me? Yes, you were.
We have a squished gnome,
I
ladies
hate
and
you.
gentlemen. We have a squished gnome.
He would shout
through the air and then turned into a pancake.
Well, so in the Bullette's mind, it just got smashed in the face with this like weird green liquid, and it immediately, because it's been back and forth between all of these things, and it just sees you, and man, you looking like a snack. So it leaps into the air and attempts to like bite and chomp down on you here, right?
Strength or dexterity. I'm gonna make it dexterity because I actually have a bonus to that.
Okay.
Oh, saving throw. Well, still, bonus to dexterity.
Yep.
And I
Okay,
fail.
so you fail the check.
Great.
And so you will take the 3d6 plus 4 for
I'm
it
dead.
landing on top of you. And then
Good
the next
God.
3d6 plus 4 for its like spade-like appendages, right? Its forearms digging into your body. That is a total of 27 damage.
Why is it saying +6 instead of +4?
I can
I'm
get
sorry.
over there.
Wait, I literally just hit +6, so -4 damage from this. So 23 damage. Good catch.
Okay, I have
Get your
9
back, Jack.
HP instead of 5, which means I can survive 1 hit instead of 1.
The Boulette then attempts to bite down on you.
Oh, come on.
That's the hit.
You're on the ground. So this is at advantage. It is going to attempt to basically swallow you.
That's the.
Okay, so it only rolls an 11. 12, sorry, at advantage. So you're pinned on the ground, but your small gnome body rolls out of the way underneath him. We get that like weird, like kind of Jurassic
up
Park
all the
moment
way.
where you're underneath it. It's just like chomp, 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 and you're just like no, and you roll away. So you're underneath him now, and it's attempting to bite out at you.
Yo, this is legit scary though.
So while it is leaping through the air, this all happened simultaneously. I was just gonna get this out of the way first. While it jumps over Darien, Hathol, and Balmier, they each get an attack of opportunity on it.
Woo!
So
Oh, God.
Hathol, you have your blade, right? That you're able to use.
No. Don't even.
so-
because
17.
as
Attacks of opportunity are
as a
physical.
warcaster, when a hostile creature's movement provokes an opportunity attack from you, you can use your reaction to cast a spell at the creature.
All right, get him, boy.
Now, does this mean, as I'm doing it as a reaction, I can use Hellish Rebuke, which is a reaction spell?
Post Hellish Rebuke, but I think Hellish Rebuke has to be there's damage done to you first, and then as a reaction, you can deal the damage.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the target is the creature that damaged you, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
So you can as Warcaster you can use a spell. Darien, you can go ahead and swing out with your
Yeah,
hammer.
Balmier made his 17 bite it.
Yep.
So.
I'm gonna let it all happen.
Can-
Okay, 15.
Why am I?
If this works, can we retcon something here? If this, so I can use Agonizing Blast, right? Which is a cantrip.
Beam of energy. Yes, it's a cantrip.
Yeah.
Sure.
Does that? So at my current level, it does 2 beams. Is that already factored into that? There.
A reaction is just one thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like this is like Rob's not gonna get 2 Warhammer swings.
Yeah.
Right. He's just gonna get the one
Sure.
as a reaction. So it doesn't count as a full action. It's just it's a
Okay.
minor thing. Okay. So you do get 1 agonizing blast if that's what you'd like to do.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so as it leaps over, Balmier like jumps up and bites out at its underbelly. Rob swings out, but clangs off against some armor, and then Hathol here shoots out some of this weird lightning again at the beast, and it looks like Balmier just hits it, and Hathol also the lightning seems to find a crack in this metal armor. So yeah, 8 piercing damage from Balmier. And then can I get the damage from the agonizing blast, please?
Yeah. Can I just confirm something based on what Duzan's posted in the chat? That I am only casting the spell once. It just creates 2 beams according to the text.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
sure.
in case it
Yeah.
dies from these.
Yeah, the spell creates more than one beam when you reach higher levels.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, if it does die, then we'll give the health back. But it's not gonna die. So go ahead and roll.
Reassuring.
Roll your second agonizing blast. And then the first one already does damage.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So the first one does damage, and then you're gonna roll it again to see if it hits.
But that seems to contradict itself, because if I'm rolling it again, it means I'm casting it twice.
No, it's two
just
separate beams.
Okay.
Because you're doing it with 2 fingers instead of 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's two
I'm
separate
doing
beams.
finger guns.
Exactly.
So the first one hits.
The first one.
Okay, so the first one hits. The other one like careens wildly off and maybe like hits the rock behind you guys, smashing outwards. Ignis, while the beast is on top of him, is showered with sparks or with rocks and rubble.
You got some damage for this then.
Yep. So just click. Yep, click the word. Yep. 12.
Did they get
force
Hunter's
damage.
Mark damage?
No, because that only applies to
That's
Miara
me.
doing damage.
Yeah.
Then doesn't Miara get? No, because Balmiara.
Miara was
Balmiar
okay.
got
yeah.
the attack,
Okay,
not me.
I forgot.
Yeah. Okay, so that's another 12 damage. So that's okay. Yeah. So like it takes a whole bunch of this damage, but it definitely is still. It flew through the air and attacked Ignis. So Ignis is on the ground currently.
I hate this freaking desert.
Yeah, as he's like rolling around underneath the giant maw of this creature. That is the Boulette's turn. Hathol, it is now actually your turn.
Do work. Can you make it to Ignis in time and thunderstep him away?
Wait a sec. Is Balmiar on Hathol?
No, Balmiar's
No.
above Hathol.
I mean, you technically can.
Yeah, no, but I'm not gonna. I have another plan, and I need to use my spell slots wisely.
That's fair.
So, my movement is gonna be
Decent.
to there.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Armor of Agathis on myself,
Okay.
which gives me 15 temporary hit points for an hour.
And if the creature hits you,
It takes 15
it takes
cold damage.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
For each.
Because I have a feeling my measly 34 hit points won't be enough if it does come for me.
Sure. So yeah. So what does that look like? We haven't seen Armor of Agathis yet.
Oh gosh, I don't know. It's black smoke, like everything to do with this damn book.
So right. So like you have your blade. The book is the focus, right? So the book's open in front of you. It flips like it automatically flips to certain pages, right? When you cast spells, it just does these things.
Yeah.
So like the smoke comes pouring out and encases in your body, and then like everyone else can just like it sees it harden, and it looks like it's like a black encasing of ice around his body.
That is suitably badass enough.
Yeah, of course it has like ridges and spikes in certain locations too.
Yeah, of
obviously, yeah. So it's like this weird like black ice armor.
Yep.
He is the Black Knight.
Yeah, currently.
Currently.
Yeah. So that is your action. Is there anything else you'd like to do? I don't think.
I
there is.
don't think there's anything I can do as a bonus at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think just move on.
All right.
I'm sorry,
Darien.
guys. It was a selfish turn.
Darien, it is now your go. What would you like to do?
I'm going after my lord.
Do it. Save the man.
I'm gonna try.
Toss the no again.
Toss him. You're going to have to toss me.
I'm gonna try.
Again!
Again.
Fucking thank God.
26. Yeah. So now it's not facing away from you. You take your time and you just smack the heck out of this
You
thing
mad,
with your
boy.
weapon. So I know you don't.
Fucking pissed.
So you don't currently have your shield equipped. Do you swing the hammer with two hands?
Does that change the damage type?
Yes.
Check.
It changes the number.
Checking.
Okay. Every time I look at those, it always seems like doing it one-handed does more damage.
Kitty.
Well, because he has a certain ability that gives him technically more flat damage.
+2 bonus to damage rolls is only if you one-hand the weapon. So no.
Right. So I'm like asking, what would Darien do? Right. Like he doesn't have a shield on. He's swinging his warhammer. What does he do?
Oh no, he's swinging it with one hand.
Okay. So yeah, he comes over the top,
boy.
swinging the warhammer. Yep. So you definitely do some damage. I'll go ahead and roll it.
You got it. I did something and I'm trying to figure out if it's gonna work.
That 1 damage. Jeez.
That
1d10 was a 1.
Glad
Yikes.
I didn't roll it that way.
Well, we don't have the strength additional to that, which would be +3 to that. Anyways, so yeah, the hammer comes over the top, and finally you feel like you do something. You either swing it hard enough or have enough room that it like dents in the armor of like one of the back plates of this beast, and it cries out in pain. Its like mouth goes up. Yeah. Wait, you do a searing smite on top of it?
Yeah, is the 22 accurate? No,
Well, it shouldn't be a 1d20, that's for sure.
Fuck? I added the spell and I don't know what I did. Oh wait.
What?
This should not be a 1d20.
Let's just go with it. Don't question.
Okay, so
20 plus 3.
Papa.
Yeah, that's a hit roll. That's a hit roll.
Not gonna roll.
No, click the name searing smite. That's a 1d20 attack roll.
I did click it. Oh,
No. In the chat. In the
Oh.
chat, click searing smite.
There we go.
That's I think that's wrong. Is it 1d6 still?
No, I'm casting it at a higher level. It didn't give me the option to cast it at a higher level, so I'm just
Okay, because it. Right.
1d6.
Okay.
Okay, so 7.
7. So a total of 19 damage is dealt with one strike from the hammer. So so you everyone else sees like the hammer light up with fire and just slam down into the armor plating of this beast. The fire itself like burns into the cracks of the armor that the impact creates, dealing a great amount of damage to him. So that was a total 17. Okay, so that's okay. Yeah, so you like crack into it. The fire spreads around, and he's currently on fire now, right?
Yes.
Is there a save for the fire
Also,
first?
I see what I did. So I have to maintain concentration, I believe. Let me.
Right. But
Where am?
okay, so it's on his next turn. He has to make the save, or he gets burned.
Yeah, give me a second. Hang on. Yeah, I think it's at the top of his turn. At the start of each of its turns, until the spell ends, the target must make a Constitution saving throw. And then on a failed save, he takes 1d6 fire damage.
On a failed save, he takes 1d6. Okay. For some reason, they don't have like a fire token in here, so I'm just gonna put the bomb. So the bomb means he's on fire.
That's weird.
Great. Yeah. So Darien, that's your first attack. What would you like to do?
Wow, it's. I'd love to do it again.
Yeah. Hit him.
Please hit him.
Please.
Thank you.
Yeah. Darien finding his rhythm. Finding his rhythm.
Oh, he is.
like a man possessed at a forge to save his liege lord, smashes out again with the warhammer. Yep, go ahead and roll damage.
Uncle Darien is pissed. Now here's a question: can I light him on fire twice?
You can cast Searing Smite again. Remember, you have regular Smite, which does I think the same amount of damage, but doesn't apply an after effect.
I don't
So it
think
won't
he can
stack
be double
the
on
fire?
fire.
It won't.
Yeah, it won't stack the fire, but you can do the damage again. You also have regular Smite, which does the same thing.
I mean, you can't be double on fire.
But does it have to be like every day I prepare spells?
Yes.
Would that have to be one of the spells I have prepared?
I think Smite is just a thing you have.
I
Right?
think it's just a thing that uses a spell slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just expend one spell slot to do damage.
That's Smite.
What? Yeah, what you're currently seeing. Also, I saw you go in there. Is me attempting to organize my spells on my off.
I saw that.
turns.
Yeah. That's good. Good luck.
I have written down what I have prepared for the day, but then I realized those little check marks, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's
little red dots are nice, right?
I'm just gonna add everything."
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
okay.
I'll expend a spell slot.
Okay.
And I will.
So like a level 1
I will
Smite.
I will do a level 1 Smitey boy. Okay.
Roll damage first.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, roll that Warhammer damage.
Here I go.
Ooh.
There we
Okay,
go.
so you deal 8 damage there, and then you have your smite on top of it.
Wait, why didn't you do it? There we go. Oh, that didn't do it. Okay, well, extra damage is 2d8. So... Why is that not a clicky?
9. Yeah, so another 17 damage. Darien, like a dwarf at a forge, is just smashing metal with fire and divine radiance, and deals a ton of freaking damage. Jesus, dude. All right. Cool. Yeah. So Darien, I think is that your
that'll do me.
your turn? Okay. Miara, it is your go.
I have enough movement speed to get up to here because it's only 20 and I have 45 movement speed.
Right, so you like try to fit in between the wildly swinging Darien and your Panther
I'm
Balmar
not
to
done with
get
this
at it.
thing yet.
Sure.
Let's go for the short sword attack. Damn.
Yeah, so it clangs off a piece of one of the metalish hide armor of the creature. Same with the second one. You take 2 slashes at it, unable to make it, and then you critically fail on the sickle. I think the sickle one is like it catches maybe in a chink of the armor and gets ripped from your grasp. So like the sickle is now like off on the ground, like underneath the bullet somewhere.
Damn it. All right. Well, that's my entire turn.
That was a lot of stuff. Ignis, you're underneath the creature.
I'm gonna throw acid at it.
Okay.
Please don't let it drip on you.
It can't dodge it 3 times.
Well, so I get that
Don't
you can like
tempt fate, brother.
you can throw it a certain way and angle and whatever because you just can.
I'm gonna
Because it's
throw
like
it
a
at its
cantrip?
open mouth.
Okay.
Down its throat, man.
Hell
make,
yeah.
Make me a to aim for the mouth. Make me a dexterity check.
Okay.
All right, exactly what you need, a DC 15 dex check. You aim at the mouth. Now throw it. 16. All right,
is
so
nearly a perfect damage roll. Dang.
yeah, so
Fuck you.
again, it like smashes into his mouth, but like he's on top of you. And so it doesn't do any damage against the armor because it doesn't get into his mouth because he's able to move out of the way of it. But you're underneath it. Please make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Sure.
Oh god.
Okay.
Close enough.
While his mouth is over on top of you, now dripping acid from it, I'm gonna say you take half of the amount of damage from the acid vial that you threw, because it's now dripping onto your body.
Whatever. I can't survive another attack anyway. I've gone from being able to survive 1 attack to being able to survive 1 attack.
So
If
yeah, so that was 8 damage. Okay, cool.
I'll be my own demise. Thank you.
It'll be me, dang it! Oh my god.
Good.
If this is where I die, I'm gonna be really sad. I'm legit gonna
A
be
lot
kind
of
of
us
pissed.
are in peril right now.
I know, but like,
It's gonna be
Got
interesting.
8 HP left, so.
also
Um,
he's on fire.
Yeah, so on
Oh,
his
no.
Ignis, are you done with your
Yeah, I'm
turn?
done.
The bullet at the top of its turn has to make a Constitution saving throw against the fire.
I hope it makes its
It
saving
is
throw
a
now.
14. I don't know what the save has to be, Darien.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is
15.
That's
14.
grapple.
It's 14.
14 is my spell save DC.
Okay, so he just makes the DC. The armor itself seems to like not have enough like kinks in it or be able to find stuff burning or things to burn, so it goes out on the back of the creature here.
Pretty
Um, Okay, so what does the bullet do here? I think the bullet lashes out with one of its claws at the gnome underneath it. An 8. Well, it has advantage because you're prone, so it's a
Failed.
14.
Still failed.
Yeah, so it misses the first one. So what I think it's gonna do is gonna attempt to it's gonna bite. It's gonna try to bite you, right? Like it's been what it's doing the entire time. Rolls a 19.
I'm down.
Yeah. So the bite itself does 18 piercing damage. You are now in its mouth. Well, to kill you has to be the amount of damage your total health is underneath. So you have more than 18 health. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it bites you and it puts you down. You don't suffer any death saving throws or anything like that. It puts you down. You're in his mouth. Yeah. Cool. So that's the boulette. It also has movement. It's got something in its mouth.
It's gonna bury.
He's gonna attempt to run or burrow. So the boulette goes and attempts to burrow itself underneath the ground. 3 of you get attacks of opportunity on this. So Darien, Miera, and Balmiar all get attacks of opportunity on the creature.
Clean.
So go ahead and roll those while it's attempting to get away.
No, it's at disadvantage. That one's at disadvantage, I think.
Yeah, Balmiar's at disadvantage for his stuff, and I don't think we took that into account previously, but that's fine.
But I think it was still a lower roll.
No, I think he made the rolls.
Yeah.
I would have to go back and look, but who cares?
Yeah. But that should be that there.
Okay, the Warhammer is just enough to hit, Darien.
Yeah.
13. Nice.
Hunter's Mark?
Oh, yeah. It gets Hunter's Mark damage too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, because I thought you lost concentration. Did you?
No,
he reapplied.
He
Reapplied. He spent another slot to do it.
4, 9,
I've got one
22
more spell
damage.
slot today, and I'd like to use it to heal. Thank you.
Yes, please.
13, 18.
My spells are neat and didn't order.
Balmiar's what was Balmiar's damage?
Well, Balmiar was at disadvantage, right?
Oh yeah, so he misses.
Yeah,
Okay.
he misses with the 14.
So 18, 22.
I mean, I'll have him roll damage just fine. Like that.
So the boulette starts digging itself underneath the ground, trying to get itself away. You guys wail on it with your various attacks. Miera finding more kinks in the armor to shove her sword into. But I think Darien here, with one resounding and final Warhammer hit, Darien, how do you kill the boulette?
Well,
Knock it.
so I'm gonna crawl up onto its big dumb fucking head, Monster Hunter style.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, while it's trying to claw down into the dirt and you get up on top
I'm
of
going
it.
to wrench my fucking Warhammer in its mouth, pull Ignis out with my other free hand, and just like break its jaw backward with my Warhammer.
Okay. Yeah,
You say
all right.
King Kong this thing.
With the Duke of Erdrick.
So you King Kong the boulette here, tearing its mouth open, and Ignis's lifeless body is thrown off to the side, and the boulette snapped in half now at the jaw, slumps to the ground. It's its forearms still like under the dirt where it was attempting to burrow, and it collapses onto the ground, dead.
And I jump down and I look at Miara and say, "Heal him."
I'll do what I can, and I'll
God.
cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay, sure.
And actually, because I still have a level 2 spell slot for
Ooh.
right?
Healing potions for everybody
Yeah.
when I wake up.
All
So I'm gonna
right.
cast it at level 2. And boom.
Yeah, so Ignis heals 8.
Alright.
And I think as Ignis is repaired, Ignis, you're probably tossed out here somewhere, and Miara goes over to you to heal you. The beast is on the ground, dead. I think this is where we take our first break for the evening. Congratulations, guys. That was a heck of a battle.
That was fun.
Are you sure we healed enough there? It looks like it only rolled 1d8.
Cure wounds at level 1.
Level 2.
Well, okay, so maybe check your cure wounds and see if it needs another D8.
Set up, because it said it's.
I'm not saying everything I did is set up correctly.
It has
You clicked cure wounds. Did you cast at level 2?
Yes, I did.
Wait a sec.
That's why it says higher level cast.
Oh, okay, so it's 10
is it
total.
casting it twice?
Yeah, it's 10 total.
Oh.
10
Okay.
total.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is where we take our first break after the Boulette fight, and we'll see what kind of aftermath this causes. We will be right back. Welcome back to DieFall episode 33. Hey, that looks like a really nice drink there, Rob. What you got going on there?
The smelliest black cherry bourbon in all the
Black
land.
cherry?
Oh my fucking god! It's the like literally the last of the bottle, and I'm like, it's so potent. I haven't even drank it. It's like making me drunk just smelling it at this distance.
Just holding it
Good.
to look good.
Perfect. That's what I like to see. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Our heroes have just slain a boulette at the desert oasis where they were. Okay, where we left off immediately was Miera healed Ignas. He's back to consciousness, laying on the ground. What do you guys want to do?
So Ignas wakes up and says, "Ah! Oh God,
And then I
this
run
isn't
over.
its stomach."
I run over. My lord, how do you fare?
I was almost eaten today.
Got a little closer than I did.
Well, you're a bit taller. You would have choked him. I, on the other hand, am
Bone in the
apparently a
throat.
power pellet.
What is
He
the-
says where no one gets the reference because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean? Pac-Man is
Is this
Totally
like-
canon.
Erdrickian pastime.
What
Yeah.
are you talking about? I'm talking about a gnome science thing.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Power pellets, yo.
Oh, I hate this desert. I want to find my sister and get as far away from here as possible.
Hathol,
The orcs can have this place.
what was this thing?
Well, Hathol,
What do I
you
know?
probably don't know, to be honest. This is probably not a thing you've come across. I mean, you can see it, you can look at it, you can try to hazard a guess at what it is, but I don't think any of the hobgoblins would have mentioned something like this because they tend to be kind of rare.
Would like
Fate?
would this beast be like marked down in some sort of record somewhere, even outside of the waste, or? Because I'm wondering.
Possibly. It depends on if more than likely there are texts of the waste, right? Like
Yeah.
there's some researcher somewhere who's written down stuff about it or studied the hobgoblin tribes and what happens out here. But do you guys know about it? I
That's what I'm
don't
not sure.
think so. Like who spent a lot of time in libraries, right? Like that's where you would find this information.
If, yeah.
So it'd either be like you spent a lot of time in the waste studying, like the person did, or you read the book, right? Like on this kind of thing. It'd be very like very Darwin in like it's like study of species or whatever, you know. It'd be like, oh, these are the creatures that exist in the waste. Look at this book of the waste, and it has like hand drawn sketches of each of these beasts and things like that. But I don't think anyone would know of those. Hathol would know where to find these things, but I don't think he would know specifically unless Hathol, have you studied about the waste? Or would you would that have been something he cared about?
What I feel is that this isn't something I've seen or would have even expected to have seen in the waste, but I feel this is something strayed here from the desolation.
Okay, sure. Yeah, like it's a monster.
I think this is a monster
Outside of
from
the
far
realm.
out of the waste. Yeah, I don't feel like this thing should be here.
Okay, sure. Do you relay that to your friends?
Yeah, that's me. That's me telling them.
Okay.
Consider yourselves told.
Sure.
Oh, I suppose we should consider ourselves lucky.
I agree.
Can I want to inspect this thing to see if this like metallic armor plate is like naturally occurring, or has somebody armored this thing?
Well,
Sure,
I want to inspect this sucker too and see what the heck it is, and if I can cut off those armor plates.
I wanna
Go
see.
ahead and both of you make investigation rolls.
Yeah, can I also investigate?
Yeah, everyone takes a look at the thing.
Hey,
Go
I
for
want
it.
to see if we can eat it.
Me too.
All of you are at disadvantage for your checks currently.
Shit.
Fine. Oh wait, I hit
It's
this.
the
again.
I don't know, Jack Dick.
Would it be a survival? Investigation. To see if we can, if it's edible.
No.
No, that'd be like
not if that's not what you're looking for. Sorry, what they had said for investigation was very much for like, how is this thing built?
Oh.
Right.
Yep.
If you guys are looking to see if you can eat it, yeah, make a
And
survival
can
check.
I cut it apart?
Okay. Okay.
I'll
Let me
also-
get.
I'm gonna
I'll
try
also
as
do the
well.
survival.
Hey,
Looks poisonous. Let's eat.
You're
Hey,
right. That looks delicious.
These roles specifically actually kind of make some sense though with our character archetype, our classes.
Tom, before we go any further, can you go to below your the chat box and click onto your character?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Thanks. No worries. Okay. So Ignis, yeah, you do your investigation. Hathol, you were investigating as well. Oh, that's up at the top. So yeah,
very
Ignis
top.
and Hathol working together. Yeah, you definitely rolled high enough to learn things about the creature. You wanted to know if someone had armored this. No, it seems to be naturally occurring like growths out of the creature itself. So that seems to be part of its. It seems to be natural hide. It's just this kind of metallic quality. Ignis, what did you say you wanted to know?
I wanted to know both what it was and can I dissect it?
Would you have studied any books about the waste?
Not at all. But I would
No,
have
then
studied
you
anatomy.
don't know what it is. It's a creature. It seems to be metallic in quality, has a large mouth, spade-like appendages, and it seems to be very hardy and strong. You said you wanted to see if you could eat it? Well, you made the survival
if I could
check.
Dissect it.
Yeah,
If I
you
could
see like
cut
where
it
the
apart.
He
where the
wants the armor,
protrusions
man.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Also, I have an idea.
With some very careful carving, yeah, you could probably pull off some intact plates.
Okay. All right. Here's the plan. We don't have enough water skins to get us very far, but this thing's got a stomach. It's got a bladder. It's got organs. I want to cut this sucker open. I want to empty out whatever's inside, clean it, and use them as water skins.
That's a good idea.
That is disgusting.
Disgusting, but a good idea. We'll have more than enough water to make it through the waste at that point.
All right. Who wants to perform surgery with me?
I'll do what I can.
I have a weak stomach for these things. I'm gonna leave you to it.
What did Darien and Miara learn from our survival rules of whether or not we could eat it?
It seems to be a beast of some kind. It doesn't seem to be unnaturally formed or magically summoned or something like that. Miara, you're able to tell. It just seems to be some kind of animal.
Hold on. You have advantage.
It looks like
on
it can.
survival wisdom checks to track your favorite enemies. If it's a beast, then yeah, it's a. These checks would
you know
be-
what? I'm not sure if it's actually classified as a beast, but
Yeah.
that's how I was saying it
Okay.
was.
If it's classified, as
No, it's called it's a monstrosity is
Gotcha.
what it's called. But like for
Okay.
damn it.
so technically it's a monstrosity, but like in this area it would be like you're not sure if it's native to the area or whatever because you don't know enough about the waste.
Right.
But you can tell it's like this seems like naturally occurring, right? Like it doesn't seem out of place. It seems to easily burrow into the rocks and sand of the waste. That seems like it could use be its home or something like that. Looking around, previously when you guys had been here, I don't know if you remember the description of the oasis where I described like broken wagon wheels or cargo that had been strewn around, and like some like cloth attached to one of these trees. So from your survival check, Miar, you're pretty sure that it was using this as like bait for a hunting ground.
Okay, I'll relay that information to everybody. Just saying, well, it looks like the beast used this area as a trap to try to lure food over. It almost got us today, but luckily we vanquished this thing, and You know, it looks like we should be able to eat any meat that comes off this thing, and then as well, we might as well use the remaining parts, such as the stomach and the bladder, etc., as additional water skins. Granted, if they can fit inside of the bag of holding.
Don't act like it was your idea. I'm the genius here, and yes, it can fit. It can certainly fit, as long as we cut it up into small enough pieces. I'm gonna get out my long knife.
Okay. So Ignis wants to begin work with help from Miera. The carving will be a survival check. Will be a straight survival check. Because
actually, in that case, Miera, do you want to do this since you've been in the wild more than me? I've only performed surgery on not people, but not this.
Well, I have survived a while in the wild, so might as well see if I can get my bearings on this thing.
All right.
Darien, what are you doing at this time?
I want nothing to do with the carving, and I'm gonna go drink some water.
Yeah. Okay. So you go over to the like watering hole area.
Actually, yeah. Can I just pass over my skin to Darien and ask him to fill up everything?
Yeah.
Certainly.
I'm gonna whistle over to I'm gonna whistle to Balmiar to follow Darien, and drink up water while he's over there, so he can start resting.
Okay. So Darien, you go over to the water, and you start filling up water skins and things like that. In the water, you notice some what look to be bones, maybe bleached from the sun and under the water.
How deep is the water?
At the edge, it's shallow. But as you look down, like into the center of it, it looks like it seems to be some kind of naturally occurring spring, and it does seem to just go downwards at a point. It seems to like there's a hole towards the center of the
Can I
water here.
walk over to the bones, like wade through it?
Yeah. Like you can kind of walk over to them. You see them. They're maybe 5 feet in front of you from where you're filling the water skins. It's not hard to see. That like some of them seem to be covered in some of the like silt and rocks from the bottom of this naturally occurring pool. But you're more than able to walk over there and investigate.
Okay. Mainly, I just want to see if there's like any sort of like decomposition, like anything that would like taint the water.
So you want to check the water itself?
Yeah.
I think for you that's a survival check to check the water.
Okay.
18. Yeah, the water seems clear. Whenever this whatever it is, because you haven't identified the body as of yet. It doesn't seem to have tainted the water in any form or fashion.
Okay. Can I search the body then?
Yeah, so you lean down and try to investigate the bones. What are you trying to find out?
What the heck it is, I guess?
Yeah, make a nature check for me.
Sure.
They seem vaguely familiar, but you can't place what it is. Either you don't have enough of them available to you to find out, or they're more scattered throughout the water here. But it does look like some form of body was in here, and then is decomposed and bleached out in the sun.
Is there anything on or near the bones, like any sort of equipment?
Sure, make a nature or an investigation. From what you can tell, it looks mostly just like bones, but let's see if you can find anything. No, and I don't think that's I don't think that's a failing on Darien's part. I just don't think there's anything there. I think if there was anything valuable on the body when it was in the water or anything like that may have been taken. It just seems to be bones only remain.
Okay. Weird.
I think because you guys heard from Miera that like about what maybe this bullet was using the area for, this just kind of further confirms for you, Darien, that this was used as like a hunting ground for the animal.
Maybe I'm gonna pull a bone out and give it to Balmer to chew on in the shade.
Yeah, sure. So you toss let's say like a femur-sized bone over to Balmiar. And Miara, does Balmiar like bones?
He'll like chew on it a little bit. Probably it helps a little bit, but
I mean, sure, yeah,
he's probably more
keeps him busy
preoccupied with drinking water at this moment.
It hits him in the head.
Like he'll probably like sniff at it and then he'll like turn his head back into the water and start drinking because he's a thirsty boy.
Sure, yeah. So yeah, he goes and rests in the shade, right? Like and you know, keeps an eye on Darien as much as he possibly can, and as Darien like is wading through the water, and maybe after Darien's investigating, you start filling up the water skins and things.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, how many water skins were given to you? Just Ignas's and your own?
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so you start filling up 2 water skins.
Yep.
This is while Miara and Ignas are going to attempt to start dissecting or peeling apart the armor of the beast. Hathol, what are you doing right now?
I'm also going to refill my water skins, both of them.
Hathol, as you make your way over to the water, can you make a perception check for me, please?
I surely can.
A 9. Okay. Okay, yeah. So as you walk over, what's your passive perception is like a 12, I think. Is that right?
I don't know. How do I find that?
It's underneath the skills.
It's an 11, which is plenty.
Okay.
It's plenty for you. As you walk towards the water here, and you bend down to like start filling up your water skin, you notice a familiar sight to you as you've traveled with some of the hobgoblin tribes. You see the tan and gray clothing and leathers of a hobgoblin standing on that small cliff over to the side of where you guys had been fighting. The hood pulled up and the veil pulled across the face. But you do see the distinctive, like, kind of reddish upper facial features. And as you catch the sight of the hobgoblin, the hobgoblin points at you, puts a finger up to the veil, and then motions like for the group to approach.
Motions for the group to approach, although indicating to me that I shouldn't say anything. What?
Interpret as you will, as Hathol would.
You got message?
I do got message.
You like who this?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hold on.
No, you can message him. He's in vision. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna message.
Yeah. So you point back at him, right? And you send your message. What do you say?
Who are you?
Okay, sure.
Keeping it simple here, guys.
Yeah. Easy. I think you hear like a distinctly feminine voice, and the answer comes doesn't address your question. Just says, "Grab the others here now, quietly."
Okay. Friends, follow me immediately.
What's wrong?
Now.
But I've already scrubbed.
Now.
Oh, God.
And keep quiet.
Okay.
We're in no position to argue right now.
I'll lead them over there.
Yeah, so you guys like turn around, see where you are. Darien, by this time you probably have both of your water skins full, just as an indicator. Hathol, I don't think you were able to fill yours up because you were on the way over there. But you turn around and you all see this it looks to be in full length, full sleeved, full pants, brown, gray leathers mixed with some like whites. Has a dark brown veil pulled across like the lower half of its face, and you can kind of just see like the reddish tint of the skin underneath the hood of the creature, and it's wearing gloves and has these like just brownish tan boots on, and it seems to have a horned recurve bow strapped across its back, and it has in a kind of like a quiver at its side some javelins, also like strapped to it. And again, like it motions to you as you guys like notice, and Hathol has gathered you to approach. As you approach as a group, the kind of feminine voice that Hathol had heard calls out to you guys and is, "Up here now, quickly!"
Are there more?
And kind of
of them?
motions around to the side.
scamper.
Yeah. Do you guys like go up to the side?
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah, I follow Hathol.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Quick question.
No position to fight.
The description that you've given,
Mm-hmm.
would I know from that description what sept this hobgoblin is from?
There doesn't seem to be any defining features from what
Okay.
you know of. It seems that like a lot of the septs tend to wear very much the same thing because it
that's
helps
what I
them
was
blend
wondering.
into like the desert landscape,
Yeah, fair
right?
enough.
So it seems very general.
Okay.
So no, nothing of this is defining to you.
Mhm.
So yeah, you guys like go up to the side. There you see two other hobgoblins, both all like kind of wearing very similar things, strapped up a very similar way. They both have their veils pulled across their faces there. The first one that addressed you has turned around and comes behind the rocks with you as well and goes, "Mahan Keith approaches. You are too loud. You'll be able to claim the body later, but wait, come here. Wait." And so like the Mahan Keith was the word that was said. Hathol, you'd recognize this as a distinctly hobgoblin term for what would amount to as a great beast.
Okay.
That is your understanding of it. I don't know if you know exactly what that is, unless you've asked.
Is it the Mama Bullet? Baby.
Is this a there's always a bigger fish moment?
I will
afraid to find
murder
out.
Bambi's mother if that's what it takes.
Okay.
Okay.
So at this point, we're all up on that ridge with.
Yeah, you're up behind some rocks on a ridge, kind of above where the small oasis was, and you've been told to keep relatively quiet. As you look across the hobgoblins, Hathol, you've spent enough time with them to notice that two of them seem to be female. One seems a little bit more heavy set and has gray eyes, looks a little more masculine. Another has light. The other one has light amber eyes. The first one that had talked to you, you can see black hair and large brown eyes, and it seems she seems to have like a bunch of like nose and piercings that you can kind of see poking up out of the veiled area, and like one that's like out on the eye and something like that. But they've kind of pulled you up there, and the one that had originally spoken like points over the rocks and says, "Hide now, quietly."
Okay.
All right. Oh, I'll
and-
hide.
Ah, damn it! I used my
follow
level 2
those
spell slot too soon.
Okay. So you guys hide. So at this point, I think this is an apt point to have you guys all make stealth checks to see if you can maintain your quiet. It's all at disadvantage
Sure.
regardless for all of you. So let's go ahead and roll them.
Why'd I waste level 2? I have passed without a trace.
For Christ's sake! Can we
Wow.
petition Roll20 to send me new dice, please?
Let's see if mine is worse. Actually, it can't possibly be worse, even if I crit fail.
Wow.
You did pass
and-
without a trace.
Yeah, but
Hey,
for
am I-
everybody, pass without a trace I think is a part.
Oh,
a
did you cast
party-wide
it?
One. No, I don't have
Oh.
enough spell slots for it.
Okay.
The level 2, and I used
Yeah.
my.
Yeah, why'd you use level 2 for me?
Because I wanted you to get health. I didn't know what was gonna happen next.
Uh,
Stealth.
Okay. So 15, 22, 7, 7.
in my
2?
defense, I was eaten today.
I was.
You were close. Yeah.
I was chewed up a bit.
Okay, this is actually going to be cutting it close, but I think the hobgoblins are going to be able to help you guys out here. Hang on a second. Let me make sure that you
Watch as they all
Actually-
crit their rolls or crit fail their rolls,
actually beat.
and then 5 more boulettes.
Oh yeah.
Just,
Okay.
just
Cool.
One mama bullet.
No. So you guys like press up against the rocks here, breathing shallowly as instructed by
Hathol lets out a small shriek.
He sneezes.
So this is it's a group check, Hathol. So nothing about this is directly on you. So this is a group check. So some time passes. Like it's about 3 to 5 minutes. You guys have been probably about 10 minutes after the battle doing this investigation and stuff like that. So about 3 to 5 minutes afterwards, you like feel the ground shaking, and it's just this low rumble. And I think if you guys you peek through maybe some of the rocks here and kind of see and look out over where near the oasis, a low whisper from the original female hobgoblin with the piercings. Look, sign. And when she says that, you see like the earth itself become convex around something underneath.
Oh, good.
It seems to be at least 20 feet in diameter from end to end, and as you continue watching, it like extends further backwards, and you watch as it like kind of hits upwards, and you get a glimpse as maybe some of it breaks through the ground, and it's this like dark gray brown with spikes and spines on it. And it kind of catches the light in a little bit of a way, but it seems to be large, and it continues as it like makes this arcing pattern towards the oasis. It just continues onwards, and you don't really see an end to it, and it just continues, and eventually the arching in the ground fades, and the rumble fades away after about 5 minutes of sitting and waiting.
Oh God, what was the name of that monster?
After about the 5 minutes passes, the first hobgoblin, she removes the lower part of her veil, revealing more piercings around her lips. You see, for those of you that don't know, hobgoblins in various ways or shapes, they have very triangular faces. And they have these like kind of large, also triangular noses, slanted eyes, and they have these like this reddish complexion to their faces. Each of them differing in the lightness or darkness of that complexion, but it all seems to have this red tint to it. The one that had spoken to you seems to have like a lighter skin tone. It seems almost pink amongst all of the metal piercings in her lips and nose. And she looks to you and nods, and then you see, Ignas, I think you and Miara probably catch this. Some signing from the hand seems to signal the other two hobgoblins, and they dip away from behind the rocks and kind of slide down silently along that ridge and go investigate the oasis area as the first hobgoblin addresses you all. Ah, good. You are quiet. I am Bwaba, and today we have escaped Ma'ankit. You may go claim your prize.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, shall we?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like it's up to you what you would like to do. She just seems to be standing there.
Yeah,
I have no interest in the prize anyway, so I'm gonna continue talking to her.
Yeah,
Sure.
I want to ask what exactly a monkey is.
So you just ask it of her?
Yeah.
She kind of looks at you quizzically. You travel the waste and do not know Ma'ankit? And you get this it's definitely like a stilted common. She does seem to understand enough of it to make sense of what you're saying. But for Hathol, you understand distinctly that Ma'ankit is like a physically hobgoblin word, and she doesn't seem to have a translation for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't exactly make a point of regularly traveling the waste, save for Hathol here.
She gives you like this look up and down. She goes, I see. Shiny, out in the desert, full armor. Foolish.
Well,
You've
I
been
need-
told, boy.
protection, but it's to each their own.
She pats the javelins at her side. Only protection I need.
Hmm.
Can you just just say what her name was again for me?
The one that you knew, or this one?
No, this one.
I haven't said. You haven't asked. I hadn't said.
I thought you just said, didn't you?
Yeah.
No.
I was sure
She
she just
mentioned-
introduced herself.
Nah, she mentioned Mahan Keep, but she hasn't mentioned anything
It
else.
was like kebab something or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm sure you literally just said, I'm such and such, or something along those
Yeah.
Did
lines.
I? All right. Well, her name's Pwaba.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you
UABA?
did say that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I totally missed it then.
I was like, I know it. It sounds
Shit,
right.
my secret's out. I must kill these fools.
Yeah, okay, so her name's Pwaba. Puaba.
Pwaba, from which sept do you hail?
We are from the Sun Scout Sept.
Ah.
We were tasked by Seely. She's like searching for a word that apparently is not coming. To remove the problem. And she like gestures out towards the boulette.
The problem that we just removed for you?
Barma Jantu, yes. Thank you. We
so
owe you.
I need to know if I know something here.
Sure.
What do I know anything about the current political situation between Sun Scouts and Two Stone?
So generally, most of the septs are. The waste is large. They don't necessarily interact with each other a whole lot because of how large it is.
Okay.
But each of the septs, they work together in a way to basically keep the desolation in check.
Okay.
But as for the regular political climate between them, all you know is that they tend to work together towards that one goal.
Okay.
But unless you had asked anyone from Two Stones how they think of the
Okay.
Suns, then you
Because
wouldn't know.
that little obelisky thing down at the Oasis did specify this was like Two Stone
Yeah.
territory, didn't it?
It did. It
So-
specified at least that this was claimed by Two Stones. Yep.
So, Pwaba, why are you here solving what should be a Two Stone problem?
She nods. Yeah. You know of the Seps. Two Stones too far north this time of year. We Sun Scouts are heading toward the desolation for our time on the border. So, on our way, we ensure the safety of the water.
Okay.
These septs are tribes, Hathol?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Do you bring news of Ital and the Two Stones?
It's been since last festival that I saw any from the Two Stones. Me, just a scout, I would never be able to speak with Ital. Too far above my rank, but you know of her?
I know of Ital.
Good. I think after maybe you do your business, she like gestures down to where you guys have started probably carving up the boulette. Let's see, you know what? Let's see how that goes as well. So let's do that while you guys are talking. Let's see how the boulette carving goes. And I think it's just Miara and Ignis you went down there?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's aiding me cutting it up, so.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead. Roll a survival check for me straight.
Oh, wait, that was
A 5.
Yeah, so
15.
15.
Oh, 15, sorry. Yeah. Okay,
hate
yeah.
this
I mean,
accent.
that's plenty to figure out, like, how to get your knife underneath some of these armor plates and start carving away at them. I think with that, you're probably able to come away with, God, it's a large creature. You think about the plating as you would, like, full plate armor. Very similarly to that. It's that kind of thickness and heaviness. And because it is a natural hide, it's probably even a little bit thicker than you'd be normally used to a metal plate. So you're probably able to come away with like 200 pounds of the plate.
Okay.
Because the monster itself is enormous, right? Like it's a large metal-ish thing, thick, and I think the hide itself probably allows for some of that. I think so. Let's say it's like 200 pounds ish of this boulette plate.
All right. So I wrote down 200 pounds worth of metal monster plate.
Yeah, you can put boulette. It's fine.
Oh, fine.
Because that'll let us know what it actually is if you ever have to bring it up.
Metal boulette plate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, wait. Let me just double check that wait. I should. No, I think I have like another 100 pounds to spare. All right.
I think isn't the limit 300?
500.
500. Okay, sure.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are working on that while you guys are talking to Puaba.
Yeah. We also wanted to extricate, the stomach, the bladder, anything that could be made into a bag. For water.
With the 15, I think you're able to get the organs out.
We have to figure out how.
But what you do with that is up to you.
Well,
This is not like you have not taken the time to like clean the stomach and tan the hide and waterproof it all. You know, like that kind of thing. Like it's all very You've got the organs. Basically, you see as you guys are like going through this, we get the basically just get parts of them like carving up the carcass here, right? Like all we do is like we see the knife go in and slice across and like a plate being removed and like the stomach being opened up and like the guts spilling out and then like pulling a stomach out or something like that and like Miara leaning up and like wiping some sweat off and like blood being poured on her face from doing so, and like then you have the two hobgoblins kind of like raising an eyebrow off to the side, both of them still with their veils on, kind of keeping watch, but every once in a while we see like a look over into you guys' general direction and you see some like hand signs between them. But yeah, you guys like are making progress.
A carcass.
You're making progress on doing this. So we kind of like get that, and then we like get a flashback over to Puaba, Darien, and Hathol.
Puaba, we're heading for Adis. Can you give us good directions to go there via as many watering holes as possible?
She looks at you and goes, Adis, this time of year a bit early for the festival.
We're not going there for partying.
Huh. Well, I assume you have traveled there before, or you would not be out in the waste without direction.
I've been there in the past.
Indeed. She kind of sighs and she goes, you have helped us, but it is not my place to show the way to Adis. I will take you to the war party, and you will speak to my chief. And there we will discuss what you can have.
Okay.
Well, we're not really...
Allow me to discuss this with our friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say to Hathol, Hathol, do you want to head over to the other two?
Yeah. Let's go and...
So on our way back, I just want to be like, we're not really in a position where we can detour much, unless they're willing to give us food and water.
Yeah. At the minute, staying alive along the way is more important than getting there quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I trust you.
The question is, though, do we collectively trust this group? I have very little experience with this sept.
Well, are there any inherently evil septs? I mean, look at look at the people that attacked us at the orc camp. Oh, he wasn't there.
No, he
Shit.
wasn't there yet.
No, I
Fuck.
wasn't there.
Never mind. I rescind that.
Orc camp? What happened?
Well, he
at the
was
orc camp?
there for one of the orc battles. Right?
Well, yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that was after you'd left.
That was that same tribe, yeah.
Yeah, as far as you know.
Okay. I don't know. Are there inherently bad seps, or do they just have differing allegiances?
So at this point, Robot, I'll ask, what is my current level of knowledge of Hobgoblin politics?
Right. So the politics that you know is that like they the seps were divided for some reason back hundreds of years. You're not necessarily sure why. I mean, you've heard conflicting things like, well, it was like some siblings ended up splitting ways at one point and started their own thing, but they all seem to still work together, at least when it comes to the Desolation. Otherwise, sometimes they do end up at war with each other, but...
The phrase I've been given in the past is pretty consistently at war with one another.
Yeah, well, so they do that, but would you have asked why at any point in time when you're with the Two Stones?
I don't know. I don't know if I'd have cared enough. I mean, I've been fairly obsessive about my own.
But I mean, you've spent some time with them, which means you would, and you know one of the sept leaders by name, right? Like you know them.
Yeah.
So would that have been ever a topic of conversation, or would you just let it be?
Sense that it would have been.
Yeah. So I think Ital would have probably told you like they find each other at war to keep themselves fresh. They do it because in the off season, when the Desolation rests, they have to keep practice. So they kill each other.
Population control. Weird.
Yeah, and it's never seen as like something that's super negative. It always is. It's very much contest of strength. And
so
sometimes it comes down to lands and holds and water. But generally in the off season, that would be the reason they would be fighting, is because by some higher mandate, they've been demanded to protect the border or defend the border at the Desolation.
Interesting.
So the off-season wars between them remove those that are unfit to defend during the high times of the Desolation.
Okay. Let's Darien, let's discuss this with Miera and Ignas.
Okay.
We're going to interrupt their carving session.
Yeah, so you get down there and they're like, I mean, Ignas is small, right? So like if Ignas is like trying to reach in and grab some stuff out, he is just covered in boulette gore. Just absolutely head to toe. Miara is definitely like up to like past her elbows and stuff like that in blood and viscera. It's a messy business.
I'm just gonna lay down the full stomach. This has been a good day.
Sure,
Nothing
the stomach
feels
is
better than carving up the monster that just tried to eat you.
the stomach is twice your size, so you're like dragging it out of like the body here, right?
Like sinking into the sand. He's not necessarily strong enough to pull it.
Yeah, like he's trying to yank it out, carve off the other end, right? Like
You are a strange little.
And then reaches back in, grabs out something else. I think this is one of the kidneys.
Good God.
This is delightful. I haven't been able to perform an exploratory surgery in ages.
Ignas, could we use that kidney to somehow filter out our urine if we get lost again?
Maybe.
Never throw away a good
Let
kidney,
me
brother.
just grab that again.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I don't think we'll need to worry about that.
Could turn it into a makeshift Brita.
Miara, Ignas, stop what you're doing. We must talk.
Right.
But surgery.
That can wait.
That can
It's
wait.
not going to rot
Oh,
anytime
fine,
soon.
fine.
You can go back to your surgery momentarily.
I think I'm appropriately stinky anyway.
Puaba has extended an offer to take us to their war camp for us to meet their leader and potentially get some help for our future journey.
Is their war camp on the way to Adis?
I may have failed to ask that question.
I didn't really ask a whole lot of clarifying stuff, but hey.
How far away is it? Do we even?
That seems like an important question.
For reference, Puaba has also like come down off the thing. She is for the moment removed even her hood, and you see that she has like long black hair tied back, and even more piercings on the long elfish pointed ears.
One of yours. So how far away is this camp?
Are you asking Hathol, or have you turned to Puaba?
I'm turning to her because apparently Hathol can't ask questions for shit.
She looks back. She goes, half day's journey, probably no more.
And in which direction?
She
At this point, that doesn't mean anything to us.
Yeah, she like looks up and like sees where the sun is, and then points kind of what would be northish.
And what direction is that in relation to the guidance that's tugging me from Dravani right now?
So
that
yours
was
is
northeast, wasn't it?
Going northeast. Yep.
Yeah.
And she has pointed somewhat like northish.
It's a slight tangent, maybe, but it's not the opposite direction.
Okay. That's still a little bit off our course. I'll accept this offer of help.
Will we be permitted food and water?
Let's just clarify. This wasn't actually an offer of help. It was an offer of an introduction to a warlord.
I'm assuming you're going to help us, though.
Never assume.
Don't
Make an ass.
Jesus. She kind of like looks at you, and then she addressed you guys. All guests of Sun Scouts are cared for. You have nothing to worry. What you've done here has helped the Sept as a whole, and I'm sure Seelie will find this good.
Okay.
And I believe we will accept your offer and go with you.
She nods, and she looks down at your work and goes, "How much longer do you think?"
Well, we need at least a couple of the bladders for water skins. I think with the stomach and maybe the pancreas, we should be good. That'll hold us enough water for a long time.
She like looks over at Hathol because
you're drinking from the pancreas, all right? That's on you, buddy.
She looks over at Hathol and I do not know some of his words. But you are unable to summon water?
Yeah, we are unable to summon water. You guessed correctly.
No.
Most do not get far in the waste without this, but we have water skins at the Sept if you need.
We definitely need.
Well,
I'm sure some deal could be made.
Well, okay, but I'm taking the stomach.
Okay. Do you...
I'll be honest, half of my objective as a player is to make you think of these odd things.
I'm not sure that if the stomach is twice your size without cutting it down, I don't think it fits in the bag.
Well, actually, what I want to do is just slice it open, dump out the contents, roll it up, and then put it in the bag, and I can sew it back together later.
But then it still won't fit back in the bag once you've filled it and sewed it.
No, we can make multiple water skins out of one.
A lot of material there. Could even make a shirt.
Question. How are you sewing it together?
I don't know. I'll find a needle and thread at some point.
Okay.
Get some cat gut.
Okay. So
Taylor?
What comes out of it when it gets cut open? Is there some treasure that's eaten in the past?
I do want to emphasize that I am cutting it away from me.
Because health and safety.
Proper.
Did you risk assess that, Ignas?
Ignas, you begin to cut into the stomach, and as the knife pierces through it, it's already been foul smelling.
Oh god.
But the smell that almost explodes out from the gas-filled stomach of the creature is unbearable. I think everyone within a 10-foot radius needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, come on.
I don't know where everyone's located.
There's no
Quaba
way
is definitely
I'm-
not in 10 feet.
Yeah, I'm not in 10 feet of this. I want.
Yeah, you're like standing over by Quaba, like off to the side.
To
I
do
think
with
Balmiar went back to the shade once we came back, so I'll save him that.
Sure. So Miara and I think Ignis are the only two that are in range here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make
And
con
that's a
saving
12.
throw.
No!
Okay.
Oh,
I
sorry,
wasn't
Miara.
ready.
Miara, you feel it. You oh no. And you begin vomiting on the ground into the sand. What little water is actually in your body. Sorry guys. The rolls were a 12 for con save and a nat 1 for Miara here. Miara is definitely not able to hold her stomach any longer. And she begins vomiting onto the ground. All of it gets to dry heaving very quickly, right? Because there's nothing there. So you're just dry heaving into the ground, like hands and knees. You're currently incapacitated by the smell itself. Ignis, you grit your teeth and continue cutting down through the stomach.
Come on now, Miara.
Darien,
Get it all out. Just
Darien,
like the stomach.
Standing next to Puaba, you see Puaba's like eyes just start, she like squints a little bit and she pulls the veil back across her face and like backs up a little bit and she looks over and goes, "Why does he do this?"
Darien has immediately and irreversibly lost his Miara boner.
I don't know.
She looks like she looks back and forth to her friends, and both of them have like even gone further backwards here. And then Puaba looks over at you and Darien and says, "Ensure it does not taint the water. Go,
Oh, no,
stop him."
We're doing this like 10 feet from the water.
Right, and you're talking about content spilling out of it. Are you controlling where that's going?
Oh yeah, I'd aim
Did you
that
dig
away
a
from
trench?
the water. I'm not gonna open it like directly toward the water. What do you take
Okay.
it for? Some kind of
So it spills
insane
out.
gnome?
Yes.
Yes. I turned to
Thank you.
Quaba and I just asked, "Do you have psychiatrists at your camp as well?"
She looks over and she goes, "What? I do not know what that means."
He needs help.
Do you have a
But those-
taxidermist
It's
perchance?
mine.
Someone who can
Those
sew?
that act like this in the sept, we put to the blade quickly.
A
leave
wise
them
choice.
behind.
A wise choice.
Oh,
Yeah.
like you've never had to make a water skin from a boulette's stomach, and I'm just gonna roll that sucker up and put it in the bag.
So yeah, you squeeze it out as you would a inflatable mattress, right? Like you start rolling,
Oh yeah,
and as you do so,
pushing it down.
more of this like intensely disgusting sludge, essentially, is what it is from the stomach, comes out of it. You're more than welcome to investigate anything inside of it, but what you can tell from here right now is that it is brown, gray, gross, and somewhat liquidy.
Darien.
And like it is just like being pushed outwards
One
in
day,
spurts
Darien,
of disgusting.
You will have to explain to me your undying devotion to this.
I didn't hear that last part, but I'm gonna assume it was bad.
Moron, I think, if I can read lips.
I can read lips, and I am a scientist, sir. This is science. This is not for fun, even though it is kind of fun.
So yeah, you begin to roll it. At its full rolled thickness, I think it's still too large to fit inside of the bag of holding.
All right, fold it up. Like, fold it lengthwise. It's kind of,
We can only fold things so much.
Yeah, you're at the
Well,
point
no,
of like
I
folding a
thought I
samurai
rolled it
blade
up.
now.
Oh,
I thought I rolled it up and then, just...
It's like its diameter. Like, so the diameter of
You're
the
a
bag
tiny
of holding is
gnome.
what?
Need
What
to-
is the diameter of the bag of holding?
All right, bag of holding.
I have to do this like every time we talk to you about anything. I'm looking stuff up because it can just never be normal.
Ignas just overcomplicates life.
That's why I love this game.
Two
You can do
feet
this
in
shit.
diameter. 2 feet in diameter. I think, yeah. If you attempt to like
this big?
fold and roll or something like that, you can probably get it in.
Okay.
So now you have.
I have it listed as
The look
actual
in
roulette
Robert's
stomach.
eyes when he's just given up.
actual bullet.
Not an empty boulette stomach, I think.
No, not empty. Actual.
Right. But I'm talking about weight. So
Yeah.
an empty boulette stomach. What is the weight of an average human stomach?
God.
This is why I do these things.
All of this.
This is a learning experience, people.
Welcome to DieFall, where we learn about the weight of human stomachs.
A full stomach can be 11 pounds. Empty. I
mean,
should specify.
Empty, it's like a slightly heavier or slightly larger balloon, right?
It is 2 pounds. A human stomach is 2 pounds. The boulette stomach is twice your size. A gnome that is, what are you, 3 feet tall?
I am like 30 pounds, I think. Yeah, we determined that last time because Darien threw me. I'm like 30 pounds, I think. Let me double check. What does it say?
Yeah, you're like
No,
30
40.
pounds.
40, but
You're,
yeah.
you're 40 pounds and like 3 feet tall, less than 3 feet tall.
3.5.
You're 3.5 feet tall. You're big for a gnome.
I am, yeah.
So 6 foot of stomach, broken down into an average weight. What is it? An average human stomach size.
Can we just call it 10 pounds and be done with it?
No, I think it's
Because
more than
it's
that.
definitely not 10 pounds.
Oh, fine. 20?
You wanted to do this. You face the fucking consequences.
Yeah.
I didn't know there'd be math.
You're a scientist!
You're a fucking scientist.
Actually, let me specify. I didn't know there would be
Can Darien sign
algebra.
up DNR? Like, if I get downed in battle, can I just have it that my party doesn't try to revive me?
So, an average human stomach is between 6 inches and 12 inches in length. We're just going to go by length because if I did volume, you would never be able to put this in the bag.
This is true.
So 7 feet worth of stomach at, let's call it, I mean, 12, let's make it 12 inches just so you can have it. So 7 times a normal human stomach. Why am I even looking at this?
I don't know, dude. Why?
I mean, as DM, you can just say no.
Yeah, just say no.
Leave the stomach.
This is beyond
Funny.
rule of cool, dude. The rule of cool applies to the fact that you haven't killed Ignis.
That is accurate.
I mean,
I'll find a use for this. I swear to God.
what is you fucking better, or I will end you.
To be
I
fair,
will
I will
find
fly to the
use
west
for
coast. I will
2
find
pounds
you.
volumetrically
By
over
the way,
this size.
Rob, I genuinely apologize if this is making you uncomfortable.
It's not uncomfortable. It's just.
In that case, I apologize for nothing.
Hathol is just seriously trying to figure out if sticking with
By-
this party
weight
is
by
even
volume?
worth the hassle.
I think it's 40 pounds.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to dump some stuff after a bit, but yeah.
You're taking into account the fact that the boulette is, it's a big thing, and most of it is mouth and stomach. So,
That's true.
uh,
Well,
I can't
Brush
believe I just
myself
mathed that. I cannot believe I just mathed.
It's been at
And
least
you know
10
what?
minutes.
I was
on
nicer
this
than
alone.
chat would have been. Okay, I was
It's been
nicer
at
than
least
chat
10
would have been.
minutes on this.
This
alone.
is true. This is true. I was kind of expecting. I was honestly expecting you to tell me that I just plain couldn't. But thank you for letting me, because I will find a use for this.
If
I
my
promise you.
slogan for this show is "You can certainly try," there is no way I'm not going to let you not try. So
Consistency.
there it is.
I think at this point, Ignis just brushes the viscera and gore off of himself, hefts that bag of holding, and says,
Brushes the
I am
viscera
dirty.
and gore.
I am sore, and I have a stomach in my bag. Let's go meet your leader.
So
I am ready to go.
in the hour and a half that this is taken to attempt to carve and empty and do things with, Ignis, you are covered in this dried gore and viscera, disgusting to behold and smell. Miera, you are still covered mostly in your like chest area and up to past your elbows in gore. And it is now also drying. Your hands are sticky and gross.
Thank you for
Pwaba,
that.
after basically sitting and speaking some hobgoblin to her companions, keeping watch and whatever, finally looks over to Hathol and goes, "Oh, is he done?"
I fucking hope so.
As
I
walk
am
over-
done. Yes, thank you.
as
Thank
I
you for
walk
giving me
over
that
and
time. This will be quite handy.
I'm like, thank goodness.
I sincerely doubt that, but let's move on.
Oh, I already have plans.
Yeah, so do I.
She pulls her hood up and motions to her companions. She goes, "We go in a line. Follow where I go." And then she motions back to one of her companions, and she goes, "Arsidil, take the middle. Swazu will take the rear. You will all be in line between, and walk as I walk. Same steps, if you can. We do not want to attract more Ma'ankit."
There's more?
She
And
looks
now
over and she
you
goes,
smell like her.
she looks over and she goes, "I think Sun Scouts have 12 Ma'ankit on record for the waste."
At this point, Hathol is like more and more confused about all these years wandering the wastes, having never seen anything like this, and just utters under his breath an almost silent prayer of gratitude to Dravani.
You have been sufficiently protected
I have
for many
been
years.
So protected.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, cool. So, like, Pwaba takes point, and she has you guys line up in a line. What is the order? What order are you all walking in?
I'm gonna be considerate. Yeah, I'm gonna be considerate. Are we going into the wind or away from the?
Let's see. The wind is probably coming out of the desolation, so it's coming from the east. It'll be basically moving perpendicular to you guys.
Okay, then it doesn't matter. I'll be beside Darien, the other side.
Pwaba looks
the
looks
west side.
Pwaba looks at you guys walking
wait.
next to or lining up
Wait,
next to
she
each
said,
other.
She said step. Oh, in a line. I'm sorry, I forgot that part. I'm sorry. No, I'll just be behind Darien.
Okay. So Hathol, you're directly behind Pwaba.
Mm-hmm.
Darien, where are you?
I'm behind Hathol.
Okay. I think after Hathol is where so it'll be Hathol, Darien, Ignis, and then I think one of her companions, because he said he'd take the middle. Arsidil will take the middle. You see the light amber-eyed, dark reddish skin of one of the veiled, one of the veiled hobgoblins take the middle, and then Miera and I believe Balmiar would take behind that.
Yep.
And then
He's moving slow though.
Swazu would take the rear. As Arsidil like kind of moves in behind Ignis, just almost audibly, like, is like holding that like a retching sound. Like it mostly that like he can smell from this distance. And then he says something in Hobgoblin. Hathol, you kind of pick it up, and it basically comes out to like, why do gnomes always smell so bad? And he's just like making this dry heaving noise.
I just catch his eye and just like chuckle and say like, yeah, you know, right?
Swazu from the back, the other female one. Oh no, sorry. Yeah. Swazi from the back of the other one kind of looks up and says something else in Hobgoblin, and basically and what it comes out to is like just reaffirming the fact that other races are inferior. And just like then Puaba begins to walk. She seems to have like not acknowledged that any of this has happened, and so she begins to walk. And she seems to be doing this kind of like serpentine-ish motion as you guys walk. You notice that like it's up and down the dunes or across the land, and she seems to be like maybe backtracking a little bit over how you guys would be doing things. And her steps are irregular. They seem to be somewhat rhythmic, but they never seem to be following a very particular rhythm. So you all attempt to follow this. Some of this is good for you because you're all at half move speed anyway. So this back and forth kind of motion maybe plays a little bit into the fact that you can't really go very far very quickly anyway. You're all very exhausted. Night is approaching. And she said it was about maybe a half a day's walk from you. And so you all are now moving in that general direction. I just want to see like how people are faring. Can I get Constitution saving throws from everyone?
Well,
okay. So while I do this, Duzin did point out that in the basic rules, goblins and hobgoblins speak the same goblinoid language. And since Ignis speaks Goblin, does that mean I understand them?
It seems similar, but it's definitely a different dialect. It's like
Spanish and Italian.
Yeah, it's different enough that you're like, I don't know these words.
But he gets the sense he was insulted.
Possibly, yeah. But like, it's one of those things that like in this that,
nice.
In this world, them being so far removed from any of the other goblinoid races, it would be a different language, pretty much inherently. Yeah.
All right.
So
crit that
Hathol
sucker.
with a 9. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't show you the stats. My bad. Hathol a 9, Darien an 8, Miera crits. And Balmior has a 9 because he's at disadvantage, and Ignis also crits. Hathol, Darien, and Balmior, you're finding it hard to keep up. It's getting more and more difficult as the day wanes on and into night to move your dragging feet along the sand. It's becoming just more and more difficult as you do so. And I think as the night kind of becomes even deeper, you notice every once in a while Puaba looks up towards the stars and then kind of adjusts the direction that she seems to be moving in this weird patterned gait. But it may be about halfway through the night. You guys see kind of a little bit in the distance, maybe about 10 minutes more off. You see light. You see what seems to be fire and some like weird shapes. For some of you that have dark vision, you'd be able to see some like weird like parts of the land that don't fit with the rest of the rolling sand landscape. So you as you continue to follow Puaba, and as you guys are coming and approaching more, she goes, she looks back at Hathol and goes, "Come, it's safe now. We don't need to walk like this anymore." And she kind of motions to you, and she goes, "Come. We're almost there." And she looks back and sees like Darien and Hathol like trudging, and she slows her pace a little bit. She hadn't necessarily been paying attention, but it seems that now she notices that, okay, maybe this was a little much. She motions backwards to Arcidal and signs something with her hands, and Arcidal breaks off into a trot and runs ahead of you guys.
Show off.
Sure. Puaba just looks at you and He is announcing our arrival. This is important for outsiders. And she kind of just keeps walking, kind of just looking around.
Yeah, you don't want to get us eaten, do you? I was already eaten today.
She looks back and you goes,
Ugh.
do you think hobgoblins eat the flesh of others?
Honestly, I don't know what you have there. I was eaten today. At this point, I'm just expecting the worst.
Nah. I saw the battle. Only in the mouth.
Ignas,
Barmajantu, if he wanted to eat you, he would have eaten
if you think anyone would even consider eating you right now, you're crazier than I thought.
She looks down and she looks at you. You are disgusting.
Well, I will admit that I need several baths, perhaps. But I have accomplished what I set out today, and I was not eaten. Therefore, it was a good day.
You will have access to the sweat tent to bathe.
Are you sure you want me sweating, though?
She looks at you and goes, do you think we would give you water? And she like gestures around. This is the waste. Water is more valuable than dealing with the smell.
Well, okay. As you like.
You shall have it alone.
It will be destroyed after you use it.
No, it's like, we will burn this later, but hey. Yeah, so like you guys in the dark, you approach and there seem to be some fires lit. These round white tan leatherish tents are staked up and tied down with various types of ropes and things like that. And as you approach, you I think those of you with the higher percent, I think Ignas and Miera, you would notice as you come in that like small forms off in the distance, shadowy shapes seem to be mirroring what you guys are doing. They seem humanoid and they seem to be not converging, but just shadowing what you're doing. As you all approach the camp for the first time. So in general, it's as you would imagine many nomadic desert tribe campsites would be. It seems very temporary. There's definitely nothing that's like not easily packed up and moved. So as you enter the camp proper, Pwaba is called out to by a couple of different hobgoblins. Most of them now do not have their hoods or veils on while they are in the campsite. You hear some conversation in the hobgoblin off to the side, and Pwaba is kind of leading you directly into the center of the camp. There seems to be some kind of portable forge off to the side. It doesn't seem to be lit or working right now here at night. Each of the hobgoblins you notice has some form of javelin or spear pretty much readily at hand, either leaned up against other ones in kind of like a triangle formation, all holding themselves up together. But even while resting, they do seem to be either caring for a weapon of some kind, fletching arrows, or every weapon seems readily near to them. They don't seem to have any horses, but you do see off to the side what looks to be, I think Hathol might be the only ones that recognize camels. They do seem to have camels that might be used as pack animals of some kind. And as you walk in, this seems to be a sizable camp. The tents kind of extend outwards in a circular formation as you walk towards the center. They seem to have some form of rhyme or reason to them in how they are kept. I think Ignas and Miera, after you guys have kind of made it to the camp proper, those shadowy forms that had been mirroring you return out and towards the waist. For whatever reason or not, they seem to have shadowed you towards the camp and then have returned to whatever duties that they were assigned. But yeah, very similar to some of you guys that were in the orc camps. A lot of curious eyes. Most of them, none of them are hostile. They don't seem to be angry with your arrival. some of them looked like they expected it, right? Like they see this and they nod and they kind of look you over and mention something off to the side and in hushed undertones. And some greet Puaba. Puaba greets another hobgoblin that has approached her, like a taller male with short brown cropped hair and kind of these grayish eyes. Again, he seems strapped up with weapons still, whether or not he is on guard or for some other reason. I think Hathol picks it up that Puaba has requested that you guys be taken to Sealy, and the larger hobgoblin male nods and answers it like you were expected. And she continues leading you in. Is there anything you guys would like to do, look at, explore for the couple seconds that you do have here before you're led towards the inner portion of the camp?
Yeah, sure. I'll take a look around.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and roll a perception for me. Let's see if you pick up anything else. It's at disadvantage.
Right. Because a regular perception roll would be too easy. See?
6.
No,
it's dark and different. You're not... Beyond what I've already told you, you don't pick up anything else extra.
All right. Looks nice.
Okay. So you guys continue inwards. I think, Ignis, you do know, and Miara, and I think everyone does know, as Ignis and even Miara walk by, some of the hobgoblins do replace their constantly on their neck veils. Like they pull them up over themselves and kind of look around at each other and whisper furiously and take looks at you. Other than you're not hostilely greeted, but some of them do show distinct disgust at some of the party members.
It's the price of science.
It's something. As you approach the center of the camp, Puaba stops and turns and lets you guys kind of come up towards her. She just pulls again the veil up as she addresses you guys. She goes, "I cannot let you converse with my leader without bathing. You, she looks over at Ignis, smell especially, but you all need to bathe. Come, I will take you to the sweat tents. I cannot promise that he gets his own, because we need to be quick, but I can assure you it will be pleasant in a way." So she...
I don't need my own. I just need to get this.
So she leads you over to a larger round tent, and you see coming through kind of the a very small hole in the top, what looks to be steam, not smoke necessarily, but water vapor. And as you walk in, she comes to it and she goes, I will address the others that they need to hurry, so you may bathe, that they may not want to be here. She kind of looks again over at Ignis. She opens the sweat tent, and a gust of hot, wet air hits you. Immediately already bringing some sweat to your pores, and it closes behind her. For those of you that might have been close enough to see, you see inside just a variety of unclothed hobgoblins of various sexes. They don't seem to care one way or another, but they seem to be all surrounding a low coal fire of some kind, and one was pouring some water on it and steam was coming off of it. After about a minute or two, Puaba exits and she nods and she goes, "They will exit, and then you shall have the sweat tent. I will have attendants here for you if you need it." She kind of says, cautiously. So after a couple minutes, the other hobgoblins exit. They seem to be all... They all come out naked. They're wearing nothing. So all of the hobgoblins, you see them in all their reddish-skinned glory of various shades, and they all seem to be kind of laughing and like jostling each other and speaking hobgoblin to one another. The things that you pick up, Hathol, are like they're just talking about like the day, or like two male hobgoblins talking about like how one one hobgoblin woman they wish to marry, and they all seem to be in bright spirits after exiting the sweat tent, until they see your party, where they immediately regret not having any of their veils available to them to cover themselves from the smell, and they look at you quizzically, look over at Pwaba, and then quickly make their way away back into the camp.
I'm not with them.
Yeah. So Pwaba looks at you and goes, "Please, remove your clothing and enter."
Oh, it's one of those places. All right. I'll just strip down.
Strip down without a second thought.
Yeah,
Oh,
same
sure.
with Darien.
Is there?
I do want to.
There is no place just for my. There's only one.
She like Pwaba looks at you, and then she like looks back at like the female hobgoblins that just exited the sweat tent, and she goes, "Are you ashamed? You are quite beautiful for an elf."
Just
But-
something that I'm not used to, is all.
She kind of, "I can ask Seely if you can be exempt."
I mean, I do wish to clean. If it's too much trouble, I'll guess I'll have to make do for now.
We'll just make Darien way outside. It's fine.
She looks around and she goes, come, and she kind of pulls Miera off to the side and she goes, "I know our customs are different to you. She looks, the tribe is not all cleaned. If you do not mind sharing with other women of mine, we can have you wait."
I mean, I can wait as well. I know that this might be a matter of I don't know if this is a matter of urgency or not.
She like
Maybe
smiles
we'll
and like she's like, no. I wish to get you to Celia as soon as possible so we all may find rest. She must know who is in her camp. But if there must be a delay for you to make use of the tent, then it's acceptable, but we cannot afford to allow any bathe alone. She looks around. As you may know, water is scarce.
I agree. Yes, absolutely. I think just to get moving on with the process, I'll deal with it for now, which is probably going to happen someday. So, best sooner than later.
She looks at you. She's like, "I apologize that our customs are not."
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Thank you for your hospitality. Really.
She nods. She goes, "I'm sorry that I did not understand. If I brought you any shame, I will serve
you're
my
absolutely
penance."
Okay. No. Do not worry.
She like nods and okay. She moves over to the tent and all of you guys have been naked for a while. I assume, like Darien. It takes some time to remove
sat
armor.
down.
Standing there helicoptering.
Yeah, like Hathol and Darien are wearing
Getting a lot of words thrown in my character's
heavy
mouth right now.
heavy armor, right? So it takes some time for you to remove, unless you're helping each other. But like as some time passes, Miera, so she's made it very clear that you do not need to. It's okay. She being a hobgoblin that's used to this kind of thing, she's like, it doesn't matter. Like the whole sexuality thing is whatever. But like,
of course.
If she's made it clear that if this is not okay, that you're more than welcome to wait, or if you would like only other women, like hobgoblin women, be involved. She's trying to let you know, is like, we can't really afford to only have one person at a time.
Yeah. And I think Miara is just gonna stomach it this time.
Sure.
And kind of just like yeah. I think
as you do so, I think as you strip down, Pwaba like stands in front of you, and she helps you with your armor a little bit, and then she goes, "I asked for some form of modesty," and so eventually like a couple other hobgoblin women like approach you, and they drape this like woolen type covering over you. Essentially what amounts to like a poncho of some kind, right? But it does cover your body. And she like, she's been nodding up to this, but she like bows to you. She's like, I will serve penance for this. And she kind of like turns and walks away.
Feel bad, Miara.
Yeah,
I do
so
feel bad.
they provided you this kind of like this like white woolen poncho-esque thing for you to go quote unquote bathe in. So the sweat tent is open to you. There is a hobgoblin male at the center. Currently, like he seems to be not necessarily clothed in anything, right? He's in the buff, but he seems to be the one that is adding water by what amounts to like a small ladle full to the coals at any point in time where he thinks it's necessary. He seems to be the sweat tent guy, for lack of a better term, from what you guys can figure out. There are like woolen coverings on the ground over the sand, so you can sit wherever you need to. There seem to be brushes, some probably camel hair brushes that you are more than welcome to. But as you enter in, it is exceedingly hot and heavy air. You begin sweating immediately. And for those of you that like haven't done this before, like a full-on sauna or something like that, a steam room, eventually it is enough to like clear the dirt away from your body. They do provide you also these various like pumice stones for you to like scrub at your skin and get away any of those, like especially for Ignas and Miara, like the chunks of like gore and viscera from the beast.
By calluses.
Yeah, so like it helps you scrape off
bottom.
as you're able to clean yourselves. So I mean, like eventually, I don't know if you guys like want to like, we can just fast forward through this portion of it and find ourselves on the other side, or if you guys wanted to discuss anything while you were in the sweat tent, you're more than welcome to.
No, I think there's awkward silence.
Sure, Miara, it's exceedingly warm for you, but you do find it easily enough to like clean yourself modestly. Yeah. It seems that there was something that they could find for you that would be okay. And yeah, so you guys like spend the next 15 to 20 minutes doing the whole like sweat in the tent thing and scrubbing yourselves clean. Yeah, so afterwards you exit. Your clothes are kind of in the same state that they are as you had left them, so a lot of blood, grossness, and gore on them. Puaba is not to be seen. Like you don't know where she is. Your clothes are wherever or however you left them. There's one hobgoblin female there who provides you all with these very similar like white woolen like poncho-esque coverings. She looks down at your clothes and says something in Hobgoblin. I think Hathol's the only one that can like pick up on what they're saying. So Hathol, you hear her say like, we do not have water to clean these, but you are our guests, so we will try. And she kind of just says, she says that in Hobgoblin. She doesn't seem to know Common.
I'll just reply, that's extremely hospitable of you. We appreciate it.
She like kind of nods a little bit and goes, she mentions that the fact that you had taken out the boulette, the Barmajantu, means a lot to the Sept, and so this is their way of paying you guys back.
Great.
So I mean, it's all said in Hobgoblin, so I don't know if you actually let your friends know what they're gonna do with their clothes, but
guys, give them your clothes. They're gonna try and clean them best they can.
Well, all right. That sounds very nice of them.
Okay.
That would be
Thank
quite
you.
nice.
Sure. So she gathers your clothes as well as some, like another hobgoblin male. They don't seem to be wearing the same tans and clothing that the other hobgoblins would wear. They seem to be wearing a more full-on, like, kind of very similar to the woolen like poncho that you guys are wearing, but it's more of like a robe, tied at the waist with like a white cord, and they seem to have their hoods up at all times. And there's a couple of these that now that you guys have been in the camp for a while that you see wandering around the camp. They seem to move in deference to the ones that are carrying weapons, and they seem to be doing mostly chores now that you notice. So they take your clothes and move away with them, and yeah, you're kind of left alone for a second in front of the sweat tent. The cool night air is a little biting now after like sweating so much and like not necessarily having a whole lot of coverings on you. But eventually the larger, short, brown-haired, darker red-skinned hobgoblin approaches you guys and kind of just motions for you to follow him. And in Hobgoblin, he mentions, Sealy will see you now.
Best behavior, guys. We're on our way to see Sealing. Ignas, I'm looking at you.
What? I've done nothing wrong.
You've done nothing right.
I've done everything right. You just don't understand science.
Okay.
I have a stomach and clean clothes.
So you guys, freshly cleaned up, and wearing these kind of white woolen poncho-esque things. You're still barefoot, by the way. Like this is all very. You're very much missing a lot of your clothing, and you're being taken to what would seem to be the leader of this part of the Sun Scouts. You're led to the center camp where a large tent is located. Upon entering and passing the hobgoblin guards outside, the larger, short, brown-haired hobgoblin says something to the guards. One of them kind of cracks a smile. Hathol, you understand it to be kind of like well, the outsiders are finally clean, and he kind of just like the guard chuckles a little bit and like moves the tent open. Inside is what would be a small fire. Kind of the smoke trickling out of the rounded top of the tent. Some cushions dot the ground of various shapes and sizes, and you see a smaller, darker reddish hobgoblin. She's short, thin. She has black, long hair that seems to be kind of like matted around her face. And these really large, like piercing green eyes. And she seems to be holding like a small cup of some steaming liquid out of it and sipping on it. And she sees you come in. You notice again, like kind of towards the back of the round tent, one of those white robed clad hobgoblins' eyes kind of downcast, holding what would amount to as like a teapot of some kind. Sealy looks around and motions to the cushions around and goes, welcome, new friends. I hear that we need to thank you for taking care of Barmajantu over at the watering. And she like motions around. She's, tea for my new guests?
Oh, delightful.
Thank you.
Some. Thank you.
Yeah.
We've been very warmly welcomed.
Mm-hmm. She motions to the robed one behind her. The robed one is a large, much larger. Like she's sitting on the ground, but you can see now, like he's even the hobgoblin's even larger than the one that let you in here. You can't necessarily tell out a whole lot of features other than that, but it's a big hobgoblin. And he seems to like have his eyes downcast, and he pours you all politely into some nice lacquered wooden cups, some tea of some kind. It seems to be a little greenish, and it steams happily out of the cup in some of the cooler night air. And you all, I guess, you take your seat around.
Oh, certainly. Love me some good tea.
So as you sit and maybe sip a little bit on the tea, it's very similar to a green, just a standard green tea that you guys would have in real life, right? So just so you know, like that's what your characters are having at the moment.
I've never been a fan of green tea, but I'm going to say Ignas.
I mean, he doesn't have to be. All right, this is an interesting tribal thing that you have never been a part of before. So I mean, maybe you don't like it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm just gonna say a solid meh.
Right. Sealy like lets you. Yeah. So she's just looking around at you, and you're all settling in.
So there's a very apparent class system here. Is this something that I would recognize from the Two Stone, or is this different social structure?
No, it's a very hobgoblin thing.
Okay.
For these tribes, they seem to, for every 1,000 hobgoblins, there seem to be at least a couple hundred of these like white-robed other hobgoblins. And this is up to Hathol. Would he have asked about them? I mean, they permeate kind of the system as a whole.
If the same structure had existed in the Two Stone, then I would have known what.
Yeah, so they are prisoners of war.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah. The way that prisoners work necessarily for the hobgoblins is they're not necessarily captured, but if they lose in combat, some may give up their standing as warriors to take a year wearing the white, and they will take a year and basically serve as servants.
Wheel of Time?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
Yeah, so they essentially serve, they'll take a year, and essentially it's to serve as much as, you know this from Puabu, like they serve it as like a penance a lot of times for failing in combat.
Okay. So after that year, they can return to their tribe.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they'll be given options. Yes.
Okay.
And it seemed as a way to remove the shame, any shame that they would have brought on themselves or their tribe as a whole.
This might be a very important question, but it's just a curiosity thing at this point. So I'm aware that there is kind of like a challenge system in the social standings where a lower ranked hobgoblin can challenge the leader of another tribe. Yes. Can these ones in the white do that, or do they give up that right?
That right is removed from them for the full year.
It's just for warriors that
they are not allowed. They are not allowed to fight at all.
Okay.
For a full year.
Interesting.
And they only serve.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're all settling in and around the small fire at the center, sipping on some tea. Sealy seems to be wearing the same, like she's not wearing like the white of the poncho or anything like that. She's definitely in like full like that regular hobgoblin, like grays, browns, and tans of the full kind of like loosely fitting long sleeve shirt and pants, ending in some like leather boots. Close to her side, you do see a javelin laying to the side next to her, and she does seem to have a long knife at her belt. So she looks at you and she goes, "So, I thank you again for removing the Barmajantu from the water. Though we would have taken care of it ourselves, it is good to not risk our own, especially as we head towards the desolation. Now, my scouts have told me you are found wandering the waste, ill-prepared for the difficulties. Why?"
That's an accurate assessment.
I think
Mistakes
that's actually
were
an
made.
understatement.
We seek the city of Adis. My sister, I've heard word that my sister is staying there, and I intend to find her and take her back to the south.
She kind of looks at you quickly. Why are they at Adis? Adis is Hobgoblin holy ground. Your sister? She like looks at you. I assume is Gnomish 2.
Yes.
What?
Last time I checked.
We have not seen caravans in this location, but the waste is large. Does not mean they have not passed us.
Well,
Why do they go to Adis?
she is currently hiding out from people that would wish her harm.
She is alone?
I believe she's still with Guardians. Or at least that's what I was told.
Guardians. Not a whole lot of knowledge for your own sister. But
No, we were separated at some point.
indeed, otherwise you would be here together now, I suppose. Well,
Yes.
I thank you again for taking care of the Barmajantu. You shall be provided food and water for the time that you are here, but in the morning we shall be heading west towards the desolation.
All right. About how far would you say we are from Adis?
She looks at you. This is information I cannot share. Adis is holy ground. I do not know how you are looking to find Adis already. Do you? She looks at you. Do you possess a chart?
I don't have a single chart of this place, no matter how much I wish I did.
You wish you did.
I certainly
Like
do,
her-
considering how it seems like we've been lost for the last week, month. How long have we been here again, Darien?
Too long.
That seems about accurate. Too long.
It's been about 4 days.
Oh,
4 days.
It's been a rough
it hasn't been that
days.
long.
I have been to Adis before as a guest of Ital.
Her like piercing green eyes look over you. Ital?
Ital.
You know Ital.
I know. Ital.
Curious. How do you know Ital?
I have known Ital for many years. I have attended the Council of Elders with Ital in Adis.
Do you still have your book on you?
Mm-hmm. It's always there, man.
Okay, I'm just making sure like it's still like slung across your shoulder or something like that, right?
Dangling from my
Like the
belt.
chain. She seems to be like taking in like new light at you and like looks you up and down. She goes, I've heard of wandering sorcerer who comes to the waste on occasion. Stays with the two stones. Ital has a soft spot for
Mm.
pets.
Pets.
And she like looks around like kind of like question
Wow.
like it's like she doesn't necessarily understand what the word means, but it seemed to fit like what she wanted to say.
I would prefer to think of us as friends.
Friends. I shall ask Ital the next time I see her.
As
Whether or
will
not-
I.
Whether or not you are indeed friends. But I am curious. Normally Southlanders don't take interest in the waste unless trade caravans come to make money off us. Even those rare.
I have been
Only show up in
searching.
Adis generally during
Mm.
the festival, Calling of War.
I've been searching for a great secret in the wastes, and specifically in Adis for many years.
She like chuckles a little bit. Great secret, and yet you share it here so freely.
I only shared that the secret exists, not the nature of the secret, or my purpose or reason for finding it.
I suppose. I suppose. Well, you head to Adis. And you need direction, or sorcerer here is leading you?
Sorcerer here was supposed to be leading.
He's been doing his best.
Hang my head in shame slightly.
I assume. What would be very much appreciated is if we could impose upon you for additional water skins.
That's a big ass.
She like looks over to Darien and she's like, you let this small one do all the talking. He seems to talk a lot. Why you, when so much larger than him, allow him to do so?
Well, technically,
answer the nice lady.
She like looks over at you and like her green eyes narrow.
and then you talk for me. So I'm just gonna sit here quietly.
No. Go ahead.
Like her eyes like narrow. I was not talking to you. No, you human, the only human. True, here. Why do you let someone so small talk for you? Generally, I see these humans and they are the leaders. They are the talkers. Who are you?
I'm Darien Heroncrest, House Heroncrest of the city of Erdrick. And I am sworn to protect the rightful Duke of Erdrick, who stands before you, albeit smaller than me.
Sworn. I hope he pays you. Seems as small as he is, his mouth may get him into trouble.
Well, we are
Yeah.
That's the first time we've heard it.
Yeah.
Won't be the last either.
She looks around at all you. Water skins. You do come so ill prepared. Sun Scouts may be willing to trade. What do you have to offer?
We have quite a large amount of bullet stomach.
Yeah.
If this interests you.
Stomach.
Parmesantu's stomach I do not need. We have
Well, good,
our
because I
own
have
ways
plans for that.
of having water.
I mean, I'd say we just give you the gnome, but it may be more trouble than it's worth.
She looks over and she goes, we do not make robes of white as small as he.
Oh, trust me, they wouldn't stay white for long. Let's see.
Then you will clean them, small one.
If I may.
With dynamite. All right. You want to talk payment? I'll pull out one of the silver chunks that I have. Would this interest you at all?
She again looks over at Darien. You continue to let him speak to me.
She's very rude, I just say to Darien.
You're very insolent, I say to Ignas.
Hey, I say that to Darien. You don't peep in my conversations, you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
King of fucking interrupting. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
If I may, I understand that water is a precious commodity in the desert. Might I... Do you have a source of water that is in need of purification? We're asking a lot of anybody in the tribe to... the sept to trade water skins with us. Perhaps I can offer my services and purify any existing water.
Purify? How do you mean? Much like you did with the Parmesantu over at the watering hole, or?
No, it's a more delicate process than that. I merely cast a spell, and it removes any disease or corruption in the water.
Does sound useful. For us, we are able to pull what is necessary from the ground and air if we cannot find any for ourselves pure already. Though, if you do happen across any more water that needs it, I suggest you purify it anyway.
Absolutely. Pay it forward, as it were.
Indeed. No, I do not believe your services for us in the Sun Scouts is necessary in that regard. But we will keep this in mind. What else do you have to offer?
What is it that you require?
We have about 200 pounds worth of bullet hide.
Her eyes kind of like come up a little bit. Parmesan hide is hard to get. This could be good for water skins.
Are you offering my boulette hide?
I don't know if we're classifying this as yours, Ignas, considering it's in its mouth point of Darien killing it.
Yes, and then I cut it up and I'm storing it.
We cut it up.
I appreciate your help. I do have other things that could potentially be used for trade.
How about this? It is late. We shall begin preparations to move in the morning. In the morning, you come to me with your offer of trade. I offer you rations, water to take, and if you offer enough, I shall provide you with a chart. It shall show you each of the locations on the way to Adis.
That's extremely
This is something that some of our caravans have or have made themselves, but I will be willing to give you one if you interest me. Until then, I think you should all get some rest. I will have one of mine take you to an extra tent where you can rest for the evening. You'll be provided with rations and water. Is this acceptable?
Many thanks. We appreciate your hospitality.
It is more than we could ever ask for out here.
You have earned at least one night's stay as guests for what you have done today, and I do thank you for that. Now, I do suggest as you leave, you keep that one in line, and she kind of like nods over to Ignas. Some of my warriors are not so cool-headed. Some will cut tongues from the mouth of those that talk too much. I wish you all
a favor.
A good evening.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good evening to you as well.
Good evening.
Yeah, so you all like stand and exit. Another hobgoblin in white kind of like bows to you as you exit the tent, and you make your way towards what would be one of the spares. As you guys kind of make your way over there, you're walking through the camp proper. You see a couple of hobgoblins, not necessarily in the grays and the leather armors that they seem to wear, or the grays and browns and tans, but they seem to be wearing what would amount to like brown robes, not as large or as voluminous as the white ones themselves, but they all seem to be of one color rather than that kind of like shifting sand color, and they don't seem to be holding any weapons of any kind. And you see one kind of kneeling on the ground, tracing something into the sand, muttering to himself. And as he stands up and extends a hand, what happens is out of where he is traced, what seems to be a larger circle, a sphere of water is pulled drop by drop from the ground underneath until it is about 5 feet in radius, about 10 feet across, in a full sphere size. As he holds the sphere aloft, other hobgoblins with what look to be larger bladders of certain kind, very very similar to your water skins. They seem to be made of some kind of animal hide. Take water from the sphere and put it into these containers, as you guys walk by, you watch this process happen.
Can you teach me how to do that?
Do you approach the one that has cast the spell?
Yeah.
He like looks over to you and goes, "No."
Gosh darn it.
Just
I don't believe I can. This is high magic. And he like looks around, only I in this tribe know how to do this for the war party. And he like, you see like sweat beading from concentration.
It's most impressive.
He nods and goes, thanks, I think. And then it continues like focusing on the orb in front of him, the large water sphere. So you get led to one of these like circular tents, these circular white tents, and are led inside. Your belongings are there. Your clothes do not seem to be, but your armors, the ones that you do wear, seem to have been scrubbed clean of some kind. But the clothes that you would have worn underneath do not seem to have been there yet. Yeah. I think though, as you're provided that, I think they would, based on the hospitality rules, I think they would have provided you with very similar clothing to the ones that they already wear. So these like nice leather boots, these like tan and brown, kind of loose-ish fitting pants that also have a kind of loose, long-sleeved shirt that is hooded. And each of them seem to have like attached one of these veils. So they have at least provided you with some form of clean clothing, if it's not your own. But what seems to be well made, finally taken care of clothing of their own, of various sizes. Ignas, yours, if you do decide to look at it and take it and maybe put it on, is definitely going to be much too large for you. But they did seem to have tried to make it fit you.
Well, guess this is about all I can expect from people who hate gnomes.
They wouldn't have stuff for like children in this, because I mean, Ignis is
yes,
a child, so
yes, but not in the same fashion that would be utilized as what they would call their warriors. So they're attempting to provide something that would have been usable
in a
for
hobgoblin nappy.
Also, you have to. So Miara would have to remember here that this is a war camp. There are not children here.
right.
This is distinctly. This is a purposeful expedition.
This was me asking outside of character.
Oh,
just
sure.
out of curiosity.
Yeah. So the war party itself would not have children. And the clothing for the children would be slightly different, anyways. But yes, so they attempted to provide some kind of clean clothing for you all in much to the fashion of the hobgoblins already have.
I'm just enjoying the freedom of this woolen poncho, man.
You know, swinging it around.
Freeballing it over here.
Yeah. So yeah, your stuff is in there, your bedrolls and things. There's all of your water skins have been filled. And there is it's essentially a bucket, right, with extra water in it that they're allowing you. And they have also provided food of some kind. It seems to be some kind of dried or cured meat, supplemented with what seems to be kind of like a small nut-shaped thing.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I'll give it a try.
Okay. I think, unless there's anything that you guys would like to accomplish now, it's about 6:30 our time, and I think this is a good time for us to kind of close out on this episode. So I think we'll do so. So this and thus concludes episode 33 of DieFall: The Aspects. Thank you guys all for joining us here today. We'll go through the goals quickly here, see if anything was accomplished.
All right.
Group goals: find and rescue Lady Tassir. Did not happen. Secure supply of water sufficient to reach Adis alive. That has not necessarily been done yet. Cure Ignis of the effect of Kars's curse. Also not been done. Ignis, find your dad. Nope.
Yep.
Return to Ulri's camp with Tassir.
Nope.
Reach Adis with party alive. Working on it.
Working on it.
Miara, learn more about Hathol. Familiarize yourself with desert terrain. Didn't necessarily make a whole lot of work on that, or train with Balmier.
I know about another monster that exists in it, and another 2 monsters that exist in it. So,
yeah, you've seen some monsters. So it is helping you familiarize yourself for sure. Darien, kind of doing the same thing. You met 2 new monsters. You both have met the Hobgoblins now and seen a little bit about what their life is.
Oh yeah.
Keep Ignis from dying in the desert. Protect him to ensure his survival. I believe dealing the killing blow to the monster that had almost killed him kind of counts for that.
Hell yeah.
Literally saved me from being dinner.
So I think for that you'll probably get 250 experience for this. I don't want to call it like the fight itself was difficult, but the act of doing that one thing doesn't necessarily precipitate a difficulty of that level.
Yeah, and the fight wasn't to protect Ignis. It was just kind of at the end there.
Yeah, so I think you earned 250 for being able to
fair.
at least kill the killing blow.
Yep.
And find a way to communicate with Darien. That's still kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
Safely escort the party to Adis Hathol on the way to do it. Orchestrate a peaceful introduction to the Hobgoblin tribes. I do think you did that. Congratulations. I think at this point that would pick you up probably about 400 experience. It was successful. No one's dead yet, though some higher sire-strung tempers may need to be soothed at some point. And ingratiate yourself with the group. Do you feel like he is ingratiated?
Not with me.
No? Okay.
Yeah, I'm down.
I've been fairly insulting to Ignis most of the day.
I don't doubt that.
You've been kind of a dick. So, yeah, no.
But he's been helping us communicate with the Hobgoblins, which is, I think, at this point, the most important thing that we need.
I'm cool with him.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Okay. So 2 of 3. So you're making progress. Anyone want to change anything that they have?
I don't
Not
know
at
if I'll
this
ever
exact
achieve this
moment.
goal.
I mean, you can change it to be like, I would like to ingratiate myself with Darien and Miera. And just leave Ignis off of it. It doesn't matter.
Hathol just doesn't
You just
like
abandon
Ignis.
Ignis.
Huh? What was that?
Hathol just doesn't like Ignis, so I can't see myself ingratiating myself.
Do you want to change it?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, and ingratiate yourself, or do you want to do something completely different?
I'm happy with the fact that I feel like I've ingratiated myself with 2 of the 3.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll think of a third. I'll think of a different one.
Okay, so you're okay with 2 of the 3? This is up to the group. Do you think this is enough for him to earn experience then?
I mean,
2/3 of the experience?
Yeah,
Yeah, he wouldn't get the full amount, but 2/3?
I'd say so.
Okay. Hathol, you get 500 experience for ingratiating yourself with 2/3 of the group and stopping caring about the other third.
Thank
you
you.
Okay. That'll do that, and then come up with a third one for next week,
Yeah, we'll do.
and we can do that.
I need to come up with 2
Cool.
more, don't I?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot about the peaceful thing. Yep, so you have 2 for next week that you'll need to have.
Cool.
Good. Okay, good job, guys. Let's do some shout-outs. Rel, where can the people find you at?
Well, when I am not performing monster surgery, you can find me at youtube.com/relplays. I do game reviews and solo let's plays. You can also find me on twitch.tv/relplays, and you're definitely gonna have to follow me because even though I've started streaming again, I kind of do it randomly because I don't always have time. And I'm also on Twitter @RelLet'sPlay and on Instagram rel.plays.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Tom, where can the people find you at? Sorry, I misclicked a bunch of times.
So when I'm not here failing all my roles, you can find me on twitch.tv/TomLambFox. Variety streaming 5 or 6 days a week, as much as we can at the minute. We've got some fun stuff coming up. We're hitting Forza hard. And in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a full playthrough of Life is Strange, which I've been begged by several people to do.
Nice.
People who are expecting me to cry for the first time on stream, so we'll see how that goes. And maybe some Maple stories coming up as well. So if you're interested, come follow.
Cool. Prof, where can the people find you at?
you can find me at twitch.tv/prof_saccharum for a bunch of shenanigans over on that channel. this week going on. My schedule is changing, so my midday streams are no longer going to be a thing because I am going back to work tomorrow. So I will be going live probably Monday through with a couple days off in between, not sure what yet, but doing like 9 p.m. to like 1 a.m. Eastern Standard. But then Saturdays are going to be longer days. I don't know how long. And then Sundays after DieFall, I'm going to be going live. Starting today, some point, probably like 7:30, I'll be playing Dragon Quest Builders, doing more of that, continuing that for more stuff like that. So
cool. Rob, where can people find you at?
Me. Hello. When Ignis isn't fueling my drinking problem, I am streaming on my channel at twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob. You can find me playing a variety of games, hence the name Variety Streamer. Whoa. I've been playing Master Mode Breath of the Wild for the first time. Beat Breath of the Wild on my own. Never played the Master Mode. Definitely a learning curve at the beginning, but I'm getting the hang of it. And I've been playing Donkey Kong 64, Jack and Daxter 2, and I don't know, I feel like I only have like 3 games I'm doing right now, so I'm gonna add a 4th. So if you want to find out what that is when I do, follow me. It'd be pretty swell.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Thanks, man.
The seduction.
Hi. I'm Joel. Or Runaway Robot. I am the DM here for DieFall The Aspects. Thank you for joining us tonight. I do super duper appreciate it. I will go through after we're done with the show here. All thank yous for all the people who did resub today. So we'll do that in a little bit. Directly after this, I will be doing a DM prep stream for our horror/Halloween one shot. That will be on October 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Lady May, Carson Druitt, Cherry Babam, and oh my gosh, Frost from Fire. So that will be on that day, and it should be a good time. I'm thinking it's going to be a bit of a mix of like 80s body horror type gore stuff and Scooby-Doo. So it should be fun. So we're going to plan a little bit of that. If you want to plan how our players are going to hate their lives at the end of that day, you're more than welcome to stick around for that. Later this week, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday and Tuesday, I'll be back playing Divinity Original Sin 2 with Charlie Pryor. He is back this week, and we will be smashing through some of more of that CRPG. On Thursday, I'll probably be streaming. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing yet, but I did play some of that Call of Duty Blackout, and it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I paid money for it. I'm probably going to keep playing it. And then next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have this show, again, DieFall The Aspects, barring any other conflicting things with the DM prep prior to it. And then we'll probably be polishing up afterwards the one shot for that Tuesday. So thank you guys again for joining us here today. And I think until next time, later.
Bye.
Bye.